sacred knowledge from the stars. Vedic truth heals ancient scars. Mantras clear the karmic way, bringing light to guide each day. Let the planets show their signs as the cards and stars combine. Ancient wisdom flows through time. Cards reveal the grand design. Om Namah Shivaya divine. Let the cosmic rhythms align. Om Shanti Om.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my once weekly show. My name is Michelle Marie, and I am the owner and operator of Astrological Tarot. You can find me at astrologicaltarot.com. So before I go into today's readings, and I do see some tips in the chat, don't worry, you guys are first. Grab your tea and drop your rising signs in the chat live right now. If you don't know what your Vedic rising sign is, you can go to astrologicaltarot.com, click on the free chart calculator, and it will tell you your rising sign, because I'm going to tell you what this new moon tomorrow is going to mean for you. So if you're here for tarot and astrology readings, you're in the exact right place and at the exact right time. So I appreciate you all for being here. So let's get into the astrology of the week to prepare y'all. So July 13th, 2026. Whew, that's today. We are living here in Mexico, but in the United States, there's a lot of atmospheric activity going on. We're navigating an unrelenting heat dome across the nation. Now, it is happening in parts of Mexico, but we're 2 miles above sea level, so we're not feeling it as much as you guys are. So the physical pressure cooker is mirroring the kind of tectonic planetary shifts taking place this week, because in Mexico, we have had quite a few earthquakes. So before we look at the transits, let's anchor our minds and just remind ourselves of the teachings of Master Swami Sivananda. This is him right here. He's on my altar. Okay. And one of my favorite quotes is, "You are the architect of your own destiny. You are the master of your own faith. No planetary configuration can shake your inner sovereignty if your will is anchored in truth. Rise above the storms of the mind and realize your divine nature." So that's what we can take into this week. So know that the global stage is not just the weather. You are the master of your internal house. What goes on inside of you as all of these things come out. So let's look exactly at what the planets are doing this week and how the US, global systems, international news are reacting, so that you can ride this wave with power. Okay. Oh, hi, Jonathan. He's here. He says hi, folks. So right now, today, the sun is in alignment with a retrograde Mercury, and they're both in Gemini. So this conjunction acts as a spotlight, burning through the bureaucratic secrecy. It's going to trigger a lot of high velocity, shocking data leaks within federal and international communication networks. And we're seeing this with the death of Lindsey Graham, possibly Mitch McConnell, things like that. It's also happening in other parts of the world as well. So if you just look at what broke the wires this morning, a massive unauthorized breach has exposed classified diplomatic files, revealing a really tense back channel between Washington and Tehran over secret maritime cyber warfare operations in the Middle East. That shouldn't happen if they were properly staffed. That's my opinion, having grown up in the United States Navy. So this Sun-Mercury retrograde in Gemini really personifies a lot of hidden communications, intercepted data, immediate strategic scrambling between international rivals, and that's being leaked right now. So tomorrow, this is what we can expect, on July 14th, this brings the ultimate mid-month reset. A potent new moon in the sign, or nakshatra, I should say, of Punavarsu. Now, this moon is also for Gautama because it holds double strength in both the natal and the D9 charts. The D9 chart is 9 divisions deep into the astrology chart. And so it's permanently rewriting our structural reality as a nation. Now we're in Mexico, but this is for the United States. So Purnavarsu represents the return of light. It's a systematic renewal. It requires adjusting to very rapidly changing infrastructure under the continuing rollout of Project 2025 and then the addendum Project 2026, which were both released after eclipses and are now taking full effect. Now, over the last 24 hours, there's been a major tech coalition filed, and there's an emergency federal injunction after newly adopted AI-driven visa vetting systems. So if you guys don't know, Jonathan and I work for Microsoft and Google. That's how we're like in tune with this stuff. And I'm also paying attention to the astrology and how it affects us. So this froze green cards and H-1B visas overnight. Now, this is really big in Microsoft and Google territory where we worked. And that left thousands of corporate tech families in immediate legal limbo. So the people that we were replaced with, and I don't say like that in a bad way, it's just corporations, instead of paying us $100,000 a year through our company, they would rather pay someone $30,000 a year for the same work. That's why another reason we had to leave the United States. So all of these tech families are now in legal limbo. They're paying, an average of, it was like $2,800 for a 1-bedroom apartment where we lived. And that brought a lot of pressure in the area that we moved from before coming to Mexico. Now, simultaneously, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission has just issued emergency mandates limiting power supplies to regional AI data centers and to prevent total grid failure, because there are some small towns that are like, we're running out of water, we're running out of like resources here. And that is just as the heat dome is straining municipal systems as well. And that's the Saturn and Pisces energy that we're seeing. So the matrix is rewriting itself in real time. So also prepare for July 16th, because the sun is going to enter Cancer, and that moves directly into the United States' 8th house of transformation, hidden wealth, systematic crises, and it's exalted with Jupiter. So this shift brings immediate exposure of major corporate asset plays. This is before we get hit after June 25th, 2027, and a lot of these things get deconstructed. So I'm going to prepare you guys for this. There is a high-level Treasury whistleblower who has just leaked documents exposing a multi-billion-dollar tax exemption being utilized by top-tier executives. And this is safely protected under the newly enacted executive branch immunity frameworks, meaning that Trump just said, you oligarchs can do whatever you want, screw the people, okay? But our energetic warning also comes on July 19th when Saturn in Pisces throws a harsh and very restrictive aspect onto Mars in Taurus. Now, Pisces, especially Saturn in Pisces, is bringing a lot of institutional decay and isolation. And Taurus rules biology, our physical bodies, and our basic material resources. So as a result, the recent global blockades of Doge infrastructure cuts are now starting to take effect. There's critical medical supply lines that have been completely stalled, triggering immediate shortages in life-saving pharmaceuticals across 14 U.S. states. This is Saturn blocking Mars in the freezing essential resources, which is showing us how macro policy and their cuts are impacting the physical well-being of the collective at this point. So do not let the headlines or the heat dome strain your nervous system. Take a breath. Here's your spiritual toolkit to stay safe. 1, you can move to Mexico like my husband and I, right, honey? Yeah. Okay. Or to steady the Gemini mind, which Jonathan and I have in spades, with the Mercury retrograde support on this new moon, you can practice pranayama exercises. I have a full video on how to do that. If you just go to courses at Astrological Tarot on YouTube, you can go ahead and look at that, and I teach you guys how to do pranayama. It's alternate nostril breathing, and you can do it 5 minutes or more every morning to cool down the analytical brain, because that's us, because we work in tech and we're just constantly on. So there's another mantra that you guys can do under this new moon, and it's the Mercury mantra. It's a Bija mantra, and it brings absolute clarity to your thoughts and speech by chanting. So I'm going to go ahead and give that to you. And you can do this on Wednesdays. That's the best day to do it, but every day to increase your intellectual powers. Om. Om Brahm Brim Brahm Sa Budaya Namaha. Om Brahm Brim Brahm Sa Budaya Namaha. Om Brahm Brim Brahm Sa Budaya Namaha. And you can do that via a mala 108 times or just 3 times with feeling. It just depends on where you're at in your spiritual calling. Okay. You can also neutralize this Saturn-Mars friction on July 19th by shielding your energy from the financial panic and survival anxiety that I've been feeling in the collective. You could light a small lamp with sesame oil or just a candle on Saturday evening, or donate to a local food bank in your area. Now, here I'm going to give you a really good protection mantra, and I'm going to give you 2 of them, a simple one and a complicated one. This is to connect with deep, immovable, all of the stuff that's going on. It's going to make you more resilient. So I'm going to give you a very, very simple one. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. And here's a more complicated one if you're ready. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urva Rukamiva Vandana Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Shanti 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 Om Peace Peace Peace. And you can say that all day, every day, especially if you're feeling the anxiety of the collective. Okay, so let us talk about this new moon in Purnarvasu tomorrow. And I'm going to give you guys a sign-by-sign blueprint. So if you do not know what your Vedic ascendant is, you can go to astrologicaltarot.com. I do have a free chart calculator, and that will allow you to calculate your rising sign or your Vedic moon sign, which tells me how you react emotionally. Okay, and it's free via my website. So let's go into Aries and how this new moon affects you. This is a massive mental reset for you, dear Aries. This is a brand new chapter for your independent business projects, writing, and communication style. Clear out a lot of the old tech, update your contracts during this time, and step into your authentic voice. Now, Taurus, this affects a complete overhaul of your liquid assets, banking structures, family values. You're redefining money amidst a changing corporate environment. So secure your baseline resources. Gemini, this lands directly on your ascendant, your Gemini. So this is a total personality identity rebirth for you. You are shedding your old skin, you're changing how you present yourself, and you're rewriting your long-term life trajectory. And you are the main character this week. Cancer risings, you have a profound spiritual subconscious purge going on during this new moon. You're going to close out an old karmic chapter behind the scenes. Priorities. You're going to prioritize a lot of deep sleep, meditation. You're going to be looking at some psychological issues and release them as your ruler prepares for a fresh start. Now, Leo, 11th house. Now, this is a major shift in your networking circles, social alliances, long-term financial gains. Old superficial connections are going to fall away to make room for some powerful, highly aligned community mentors. Now, Virgos, this is a professional rebirth for you. Expect a clean slate or sudden contractual modifications in your career, your public status, your relationship with management, because this is a major opportunity for you to take on a more authoritative technical role. Libras, a radical shift in your belief systems, legal contracts, higher educational plans. If you're handling international relations, legal documentation, tomorrow's going to bring a major definitive and directional reset for you. Scorpio, this is transformation central. You guys are used to it because you're Scorpios. But a reset regarding joint finances, taxes, inheritances, shared corporate assets. Keep your documentation pristine and use this energy to cut ties with those toxic energetic debts. Sagittarius, this is a massive turning point for your close business and romantic partnerships. An old connection or contract may return. It may be permanently rewritten or formalized. So balance clear communication with healthy boundaries when this happens. Capricorns, this is a fresh start to your daily routines, your health protocols, workplace environment. If you've been burnt out by external pressures, this moon is going to give you the operational strategy to organize your life and defeat obstacles. It's a good one for you. Aquarius, this is a creative and intellectual spark. It brings a fresh wave of inspiration to your entrepreneurial ventures, artistic projects, and dynamics with children. So trust your unique forward-thinking ideas, which Aquarians are just known for. And finally, Pisces. This is a complete shift to your home base, real estate, and emotional peace. You are updating your literal living space or reestablishing deep boundaries to protect your sanctuary from external noise, because Pisces love that beautiful quietude. Okay, so now that the astrology is laid out for the week, your spiritual defenses are set. It's time to look into your beautiful energy. Thank you all for being here. I am opening the chat. I'm going to start pulling cards. Know that tippers get priority in order, and then I go in order of questions received for lightning round. I spend more time on people who do an energy exchange with me because it produces less future karma. And know that you do need to be here if you are here for a free reading. Otherwise, I will move on to the next question. So drop your questions and let's dive into our live readings. And I want to say hi to some of you who are coming into the audience. And I just want to thank Venus for being the mod with the most. You have been here every week, and I just appreciate you so, so much. So, oh my goodness. So the lovely Venus is here, and she's reminding everybody how to please post questions in caps. Tippers of $5 minimum USD get priority. Thank you so much, Venus. And yeah, thank you. I appreciate you so much every single week. You're amazing. And then Cheryl, you are number one. So, and I did get your question. Thank you and welcome for being, welcome and thank you for being here. And then we have the lovely Amon. I will go ahead and give you a star there. And you're a Libra rising, Cheryl. Okay, good to know. I'll put that in the star that. Oh, and Amon, you're very stressed. Yes, we have a lot of things going on planetarily. So I completely understand why you're stressed. I didn't realize my collar was popped. Looks like a detective from the 90s. Okay, Ryan Slade is here. It is lovely to see you, Ryan. Good to see you. Some patience. Good to see you, some patience. Lovely to see you. And then your internet's been out for 2 days, Rachel. Well, I'm glad that you were able to make it here with us today. Sending lots of love to you, my dear. And Gabriel, it is lovely to see you. Lovely to see you, Gabriel. Know that if you tipped, then you're going to be closer up to the head of the line, okay? And some patience, you put a question in the coffee app. I'll go ahead and star that. Thank you for the arrows, Venus. And let's see. All right, some patience. I'm going to go ahead and get that in for your medical. Oh my goodness, you have more medical stuff from your fall. Oh, that was such a big deal. And then happy Monday, Jean. It's lovely to see you, my dear. And everyone says hi, Jonathan. He says hi. Oh my goodness, we were just talking about like options moving forward and stuff this week. It's really stressful when you're living with someone that you love that's dealing with mental cognition issues, you know, because you have good days and you have bad days. But I love him every day because he's my best friend. And we had a really good heart-to-heart today, and I'm very thankful for him, you guys. I got lucky. All right, Jean, I got your question in. Good to see you, Maria Scorpio. Welcome, my dear. And of course, Jonathan says hi. There he is. And let's see. Okay, you're worried about your hip pain. Okay, Maria, I'll get your question in. And let's see. Oh, and sweetie, half my family's German, and I love Jesus too. He's on my altar. I love you. Okay. And then we have, let's see. I'm not sure if it's Vedic. Well, you can go, Cheryl, you can go to my website, astrologicaltarot.com. I'll show it to you. It's right here. And you can get a free Vedic calculator and tell me your rising. And I can help with the reading. The lovely Frank is here. It is so lovely to see you, Frank. Everything is right, Aqua F90. Very good to see you. Okay, I'm adding to your questions some patience. Oh, Frank Bell, happy birthday. You're going to be 43. Oh, that's wonderful. I am going to be 43 this year too. So yay, we're both Leos in the Western. So love that. I'm actually Cancer in the Vedic. Good to see you. Welcome. Okay. And Jean says, lovely to see you and your husband. Aw, you guys are great. Okay, and Aqua, if you have a question, go ahead and put it in the chat. Okay, we have quite a few so far. So let me go to Aura Om Yoga Studio. That's Cheryl. Okay. We have Rachel Rose. Rachel, Rachel, go ahead and put your question in. I didn't get it yet, sweetie. It might have not have gone through. And then, oh, Barbara. I didn't see Barbara come in. Go ahead and send your question in, Barbara. I'll wait for you, okay? If not, I'll go ahead and give you your reading, and then I have some patience. Okay, well, thank you all so much for your donations. You help pay my food bills down here in Mexico. So I appreciate you guys. We moved here for a reason. It was because we couldn't afford the United States anymore as tech workers. And I mean, you guys, I was making really great money before COVID hit. It was insane. Oh my gosh. And then, oh, we have more of you coming in. Proud Pomelo, welcome. And then looking at the website, there's so much info. I can't look. Okay, so the ascendant sign is the Lagna or the ASC that you see. Okay, so look for the ASC, Cheryl, and that'll tell you what your ascendant is. Frank Bella, got your question in. Thank you for serving our country. Jonathan and I came from military families, so we appreciate you. And then Ajay, nice to see you. I love that you are interested in Jyoti and Jyotish. That is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I'm a Jyotish astrologer, yeah. Where am I from? Okay, that's a very loaded question because I grew up in the United States military. So I have lived all over the world my entire life, which is why I travel. I don't really have a home. I mean, Jonathan, do we have a home? We're kind of like traveling yogis, you know, Jonathan was part of the Sivananda Yoga Center, and we just basically travel and do yoga and study under masters and live our lives that way. And then when I was younger, I grew up in the military. So our home is Earth for now, until we can transcend to those higher planes. But yeah, we've never really been rooted in one place. So thank you for asking, Zainab. Okay. Let's see. So let's get to our first lovely tipper, and that would be Cheryl. And in the meantime, go ahead and get your questions in, guys. I am here and waiting for you. And Proud Pomelo, I know you really want to know what to eat for dinner, but I suggest that you just go, if you don't want to make it, go onto Uber Eats or Didi or whatever country you're from and just order something, because he's got a Cancer in the home. So double Cancer and Venus in the 4th house. So he gets homemade organic meals every day, right? But if you don't have someone to make you meals, go ahead and order them. Okay. So let's go ahead and get to the lovely, and we ask serious questions here. Okay, Pomelo? All right. May I ask what my past life might be and how it's affected me negatively in my current life? Now, I read past life charts. I can go 108 divisions deep into the Jyotish practitioner methodology. I'm fully certified by Komilla Sutton. She is my guru, and by the Sivananda Yoga Center as a Jyotish practitioner. So I can give you a full-on past life reading if you choose to. Now, know that I spend hours looking at a person's chart, putting together data, and looking into what you're here to learn as a soul now, so that you can go on to those higher 7 planes or learn from the lower 7 planes, depending on where you're at in your soul's development. If you don't know what those are, I can explain them to you. But Sherol, if you want a past life reading, I do offer those. Okay. I also offer prajna charts for those who have passed to figure out where your relatives have gone. Okay. Okay, let's look into this for you, Sherol. I appreciate you all for being here. Please make sure to like and subscribe. It helps me in the algorithm stay available to all of you. Well, they're telling me what you are trying to make up for in a past life. That's why you reincarnated. They're telling me why you reincarnated through the tarot. Okay? Again, I do not have your birth date or information, so I cannot tell you anymore. And for me to look into it would take some time, if you're not a past client. When it comes to past clients or people that I've spoken to via my Zoom meetings, you are already in my system, and I can't answer those questions. Okay. Okay. Whew. You pass me my mug, sweetheart. So, Sherol, you didn't see something in a past life. This is Neptune. Now, Neptune represents, he's a little like Ketu and Rahu put together. He represents ambitions that are missed and things that we were blind to. Because if you look at his eyes, he can't see what's going on. He's a little blinded there, right? So when it comes to your overall mission here on Earth, you're here to complete a mission that you have failed in a past life. A lot of us are here for that reason. We're here to complete some energies and systems that, were maybe not serving us appropriately, or that as higher souls, when we merged with our higher self in those realms, we went, this probably isn't the best for me, and I need to really work on these areas of my life. So you're here to do a little homework, which is probably why you feel a little more drawn toward learning, especially when it comes to the supernatural and things that you might not be seeing. The first card I got was the 10 of Wands, but it came up reversed. Okay, you can see here she's in the Himalayas with her yak, and she's going through. And when this comes up reversed, you need to start releasing delegation that's not yours. Okay. I remember I'm an English major, and so King Richard III, he's just a Shakespearean play. He said, a horse, my kingdom of a horse. And so for a horse, he basically, it's about the breaking point when the load becomes too heavy to bear, and it leads to a total collapse of authority, burnout, and ruin. So you're kind of going through, in a past life, you went through like this Shakespearean moment of just losing everything. All of your hard efforts got turned upside down. Everything you worked for, everything you accumulated in your life, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, just got thrashed. And you went, I don't want to do that again. I want to change. I want to maybe look at a different way of being and living. So what they're saying is that it's really important for you to follow your higher self. The reason I say that, okay, and this is with all due love and respect, is I got the star, but it came up reversed. So what does this tell me? It tells me that you might not be listening to your spiritual self as much as you should. If this is upright, she's directly connected to the higher realms. Okay, she is not ignoring what she's getting from spirit. She is very much in tune with it. She's not allowing things to get in her way. This is usually after tower moments that we start to really rebuild ourselves, and you weren't able to do that in a past life. So keep your gaze fixed on the star of hope in this life, okay? It's important that you put your heart and soul into your work, but don't lose your mind in the process, because when I get that reverse 10 of Wands, it tells me that even though your stars were very beautiful in a past birth, they were too far away from the cold hearts of others. Okay, so they're showing me the painting of Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. So if you had a lot of severe disappointment, a lack of faith in the universe, some creative barrenness, this birth is a chance for some profound existential rebirth instead of discouragement, which is what you went through in a past life. Okay? Now, this is the big stuff. This is the one that really made you reincarnate. I got the Six of Wands and it came up reversed. You were not recognized for those efforts. Those efforts that I showed you, all that hard work, your soul wasn't recognized, your material efforts weren't recognized, and you came back to show them all up, okay? But this came up upside down, okay? So this tells me that this was a big ego-inflating experience for you, an unfavorable outcome. You lacked a lot of confidence that you're trying to build within this particular birth. So it's important that you retake this pedestal by realizing that the public is not here for you, but you're here for the public. And that your unapologetic celebration of your own personal supremacy in this birth is so important for you, and that you recognize your hard work and you only give it to the right people. In Sanskrit, this is called viveka. Viveka is discernment. It's the ability to give yourself efforts, to give your mind, your heart, and your soul and your energy to the right people at the right time. If you don't have that discernment, it gets thrown into the garbage can, the garbage disposal. It gets wasted. So you came here to learn viveka, discernment, so that your higher self and your material self can merge and feel like they're more in line with the divine energy of the universe. Okay, my dear? Now, it is very, very difficult to get a human birth. I've learned this from a lot of yogic masters through the Sivananda tradition. My husband, he, like, how many of them that you serve under? It was like Swami Chidananda, Nada Brahmananda, Satchidananda. About half a dozen yogis this guy grew up with. So he had this background. And so what I'm saying is they all said one thing. A human birth is very, very difficult to get. So see this as a gift. You are being gifted, my dear, from the universe itself to rewrite your history, to start over, to start looking at who you are as a divine being and soul, and look at yourself in a real, discerning way. Okay? So that's what you came here for. Oh, and by the way, this is a son of Surya. It's a whole story in the Mahabharata. I can give you the whole story later, but the main message that you need to get is that you are here to make up for the lack that you felt from your past births and start to develop that beautiful discernment. Okay. I highly suggest that you look into the various methodologies in which you can practice that. For me, it's Tarot, it's Jyotish. I mean, I also do a Kerala astrology through shells. It's a whole thing. Find things that really work for you and stick to them, because the universe is very, very much behind you. Okay, and you said, interesting. Okay, that's great. Thank you, Cheryl. And you wanted a general reading, but you got a big one. They really wanted to come through for you. And wow, very heavy. Thank you. Makes sense. That's how I feel. Oh my goodness. Well, this just tells me that you're a very beautiful soul and that you were given a gift from, and the thing is, that's a son of Lord Surya. Those are the Adityas. They were sons of Vishnu and Lakshmi. So you were given this opportunity by a beautiful and divine force to start over and to renew yourself. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. Okay? All right. And thank you for all of your work in the chat, Venus. I see what you're doing. You're so wonderful. Okay. Now let's see. All right, Rachel, I'm getting your question in. All right. Oh, Viviani's here. It is lovely to see you, Viviani. Welcome, welcome. Oh my gosh. And then Frank Bell says, I feel you. That's great. Some of these readings are for all of us. So, and Jonathan says, thank you, Steve. We appreciate all of your encouragement, guys. Very much so. All right, so let's get to our next lovely tipper. Let's see. Okay, I don't see Barbara in the chat. I will get to your question, Barbara. But we have the lovely Rachel Rose, and then we have some patients. Okay. And I know, isn't Venus great, you guys? She's so wonderful. Okay, so let's go to Rachel. I feel like I need to carve out a new career path for myself. I'm feeling a bit burned out from music. Well, you've been very busy. I'm looking into a plant-based nutrition or humane education as a way to work from home later on, maybe in a different country. Cards on this. Okay. Well, the energy that I get from you, especially with your moon in Bharani, is that moons in Bharani are very much like Bhishma in the Mahabharata, meaning they might have to serve a king they don't agree with, but in doing so, they fulfill their dharma. And you can look him up. It's a very interesting character. And you do work for the United States Army, and I know that you don't agree with some things that are going on. But I will pull some cards on this for you, okay? Okay. And again, I appreciate you all for subscribing and for being here and staying for your questions. It means a lot. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, this is a little heavy. Okay. All right, so the first card that I got for you, dear Rachel, is the third house. Okay. You want to carve out a career path for yourself. You're feeling a little burned out with the music. It's time to start calling on the phone, because you can see there's a phone, a quill, and paper here. This was the card that was made in the early 80s. So actually 1987, I believe, is when Karma cards came out. So basically you want to start making some calls, sending some emails, putting your ideas out there, okay? And you're saying, I'm not planning on leaving, but I obviously need to finish. I'm staying after. I'm almost done. I have 2.5 years. Oh boy. Okay, so this is a card of communication. Start making connections. Like you mentioned, going to Berlin. I actually found a really great article on places to visit in Berlin the other day, about the museums and the river down there, everything else. And I tried sending it to you, but the link wouldn't work. But it kind of gave me a sign that tell Rachel about Berlin. Start making connections within the music community to kind of reignite that spark and maybe send it in another direction, because you are very, very talented in this area. Then I got Capricorn. Treat your music as a business. Turn it into an income stream outside of the current system that you're in, and it's something for you to fall back on. Teaching music is never going to go away, because it is integrative into the processes that we need as humans in order to rise up and become better people. Because when we learn music, when we learn an instrument, it integrates our neural processes into a physical and spiritual body, and what you're doing is very important. So do not give that up. It's very important that you don't abandon something that you have worked lifetimes to achieve, because you have done this in past lives. That's why you're so good at playing violin and singing and everything else. And you have millions of views on YouTube. She has millions of views on YouTube, you guys. And Jonathan can attest, he has actually perfect pitch. Right, Jonathan? Yeah, perfect. Jonathan has perfect pitch. Yeah. What do you think about Rachel's music?
It's literally heavenly.
It's, yeah, she's bringing it down, folks. Yeah. Okay, so if you try to do this now, you're not going to be successful. I got the 10 of Wands reversed. This is all about releasing the delegation. You're not going to see the results of your hard work right now. You said you had 2.5 years. Give it some time, because you're just going to be wasting your energy in other areas. It's okay to plan and make connections. Keep it light. Don't do anything big, because if you do that, it's going to overburden you with all of the other things that you're already dealing with. Okay. So what is going to release you? What is going to put you in this new way of being and thinking? He's actually looking at this woman in the reprisal card. I got the Emperor. You are working for the United States government. You have power over your mind, Rachel. This is, if you realize this, you'll find strength, because a true king rules before he rules an empire. So if you look into the structure, the self-discipline, the defensive strength that you have naturally to protect the Commonwealth and to protect what you're doing, that's great. But know that things will eventually work out for you. But the Emperor in you needs to come forth in order to allow this to happen. And that can't happen until you're released from your duties, your karma. Once you realize when you leave the situation that you're in, do not seek any reprisal, because that's going to bring ties into you taking the next step. So long story short, plan now. Don't take any big steps. Just plan. Talk. Make connections within the music community. Continue to do your job. Once you're finally let go, take complete control of your life as the Emperor does, and do not seek vengeance, because they will kind of screw you on the way out. Okay. I mean, I grew up in the military. I've seen it. So it's important that you cut all ties when you do go. If you decide to, after the end of your contract, and then just completely restart for yourself and become your own leader. Okay. What do I mean by reprisal? Okay. So I will get into the meaning of this card. I think she's come up quite a bit in the, this is the part of the Mahabharata Oracle, and her name is Amba. And this is vengeance and retaliation will not serve my purpose. That's what this card means. So she was the eldest daughter of King Kashi, and she was in love with Selva, and he was a king of Shambhala, and she was promised to wed him, and she was in love with him. Along with her two sisters, Amba was abducted by Bhishma, who was unaware of her commitment, because Kshatriyas used to kidnap their wives back in that era. And he learned of her commitment to Selva and sent her back out of honor. But then Selva no longer desired her. It's like a romance novel gone bad. So she was rejected. She was heartbroken. She retired to the forest, and she did extreme penance to the gods, especially Lord Shiva, she wanted to really wreak revenge on Bhishma. She wanted to be reborn as a man and just like murder him over and over again, because she was so mad about what he did. So she gave up on food, she gave up on sleep, and she only survived on air, very much like Gauri Devi. And she was advised by the ascetics to abandon her penance. And she was like, nope, I'm going to be reborn as a man. I'm going to destroy Bhishma. And then Shiva eventually granted her boon. So avoid retaliation after you leave your work regarding your finances, because vengeance is not worth your time or energy. And this also goes into you going into Sati Sati, which will be next year. Okay, Sati Sati, the height of Sati Sati is Saturn going over the moon. Again, it will affect your 3rd and 9th house, which represents immediate family, siblings, and also long distance travel. So it's important that you just allow this period to pass, allow the 2.5 years to pass after you hit full Sati Sati at the beginning of 2027, and then just breathe and move on. Okay, my dear? So that's what the reprisal card means. I hope that was helpful. Okay, I know you want to finish. You're an Aries moon in the Vedic tradition. So I totally get that. Okay. And then Tanvir, lovely to see you. I'm from Bangladesh, so our country experiencing to abroad is not possible because of government rules. It's going to be that way in the United States in the future, unfortunately, with the way it's going. They're turning into a Christian Reich, just like a lot of countries. They lean on the more negative aspects of religion to control people rather than on the positive, beautiful aspects of it that can lift a nation up. And my heart goes out to you, my dear. And then retaliation, like not emotionally going back or like not telling on their faults. Both. Just walk away. I'm an Aquarian moon. We can just shut the faucet off and walk away. Okay. So I want to cut all ties. I mean, some friends definitely cut all ties. I learned that in the pension. Yeah. So you want to do that. But 2.5 years from now, when your contract's up, you got to honor your contract, sweetie. So That's what the universe is saying. Okay. Samantha, welcome. It's lovely to see you. Tanvir, now, okay, this is just my opinion. As someone who was born and raised in the United States, now is not the time to come to the United States, especially if you're a person of color. Would you agree, Jonathan?
Yeah. Yes.
If you're a person of color, do not come. Like, that's just our.
And I'm from the South.
Yeah, we're both from the. Yeah, okay. Oh my goodness. And she says, oh, I'm definitely not running away. I just want to take a class. Oh, I love that. Oh, Susan's here. Oh my gosh, Jonathan, we were just talking about you, Susan. We looked at your website. It's amazing. We've just been analyzing it. You're Susie Lee, which is adorable. But we have not gone on to the AI assistant for the preacher thing yet. So I haven't written you an email or a message back on that because I really wanted to look. We wanted to look in depth on it, right, sweetie?
Yeah.
So it's lovely to see you, Susan. Oh my gosh. And Gigi's here. Oh my gosh. Lovely to see you, my dear. Rachel says the use is okay for people of color. Just depends on where you are. It's fine here in Maryland. It also depends on how much you make. And if you have family support. And if you're backed by a system that's already in place, because corporations are taking advantage of people from other countries. We would know this because we just came out of Microsoft, Google, Amazon territory in the Seattle, Redmond, Bellevue area. And what Jonathan and I used to do, like per person would be like 120 to 150,000 a year. Mm-hmm. And now they're paying like 30 grand a year before taxes to these guys that are living 12 to an apartment. You can see all the sandals outside and the cigarette butts. It's not great, Rachel. So that's what we came from. That's what I was kind of advising to. And then Susan says, I cannot advise anyone to come here. It's too dangerous. Yes, as a man of color, do not follow the corporate dialogue. They will screw you. We come from a tech area. We worked like, Jonathan's like over here just like going, yeah. So we're just letting you know we're in Mexico for a reason, guys. Okay. Okay. And then Rachel says, I think there's more anti-Semitism here more than anything, honestly. Yeah, there's a lot of that going around too, because that's the whole Christian Reich movement. There's some beautiful Christians like Susan and I that love and embrace all religions, cultures, and beings, because we see the divine Holy Spirit in everyone, the Atman, but there's only a few of us. So it's really important that you don't feed into the propaganda that's coming out, because it's very Russian actually oriented, in my opinion, because I was a journalism major. And so I look into that and go, ooh, that's Russian propaganda that's coming out of the news. So, and then Rachel says, I'm planning on going to Germany when I retire. Germany is safe though. Okay. Yeah, I know. I have a theory about like last thought, next birth. And so I think the German soldiers, the Nazis, were thinking about Americans that they hated, and so are the Japanese, and so are the Italians. And now the three top democratic nations are Germany, Japan, and Italy, because I think they're all Americans that were reborn as the people they killed. It was something I read in the Gita as well as the Katha Upanishad. And so I looked at that and went, I think that we're just being reborn as the people that they killed. And that's why we're looking at some of the most democratic nations. We're part of the Axis. And now the allies are now, they swap sides. That's just a theory of mine. And I've actually had a few clients that confirm that. So, and then Maria says, I think you're right. Oh, okay. Okay. And some patients, okay, so some people cooking lunch. Oh, Cheryl, that's lovely. I love that you're cooking lunch. Okay, so let's go to our next question. And we have, our next one is, I don't see Barbara's question in. I'll give you a general, Barbara, if you don't check in, but I'd love to see you here, my dear. So we have some patients, and then we have the lovely Susan. Some patients, is my mother going to recover, survive? Any messages from her? Oh my goodness. Okay, some patients. Let's look into mom. And then you also said, Critical failures for a while, elbow diagnosed, requiring surgery 4 days ago. Almost, yeah, over a year after your fall. Last week, I found out I require ankle surgery and elbow surgery, trying to get them done at the same year. Insurance deductibles reset. Oh my gosh, you're going through so much. And you're worried about your mother. Well, let's just see what the guides have to say for you, because I think that it's, you need to focus on you. You're always so worried about everyone else that I think that, like, Spirit's going, well, this is what happened to me. I was supporting my ex-husband and his family to an extreme. I mean, I was carrying all of the finances. And it was through business, it was through a government job, it was through a lot of other things that I was doing. And they want you to focus on you, is what I'm getting. I don't know if there's a football game going on tonight, but they're honking their horns, so they seem to be pretty happy out here. We're in Mexico City. You guys, football, aka soccer, is insane here. It's a religion. So they even dress up baby Jesus in the cathedrals here in the jerseys. It's really cute. Okay. All right. So you're worried about mom. Some patients, I'm serious. You need to worry about you. That's like, I can already say that. Fair enough. Okay. I mean, I haven't dropped over everything and flown across the country or anything. Touche, my friend. Touche. I have not seen that from you, but I did it because why did we do it, sweetie? We saw the writing on the wall. I'm an astrologer. Oh, some patients, your guides are coming up very strongly for you. Okay. I'm just getting updates on her fall, broken hip, remittance to critical care. Okay. It's not your job to take care of your mother, especially after everything that you've gone through. Okay. You could be there for her emotionally on the phone, but you have your own surgeries to go through. You have your own stuff. Okay. So it's important that you stay in your lane. The reason I say this, my dear, is because I got Sagittarius. Okay. This is all about following your inner teacher. When you sit in meditation, you're going to hear a voice. It's not yours. It comes from either your heart space or your third eye, when you manage to literally aggregate all of the senses into a point and either put it in your heart space, that's where I started, or here, and that's when you start to see the lights. And then you'll start hearing things that, it's not schizophrenia, I promise you. It's literally spirit coming through and overriding your own kind of computer system, your own, how would you put it, sweetie? Because we're in programming.
Meta program.
Your meta program. Okay, so it's the meta coming into the meta program and kind of rebooting things. So you have a higher self inside of you. Tap into that. It's Atman. The higher self wants you to focus on your own ego, what's best for you, what makes you shine. Because I got Leo. Now, Leo, I don't know, I don't have your chart in front of me, but Leo's getting eclipsed right now by Ketu. And what Ketu does is he chops off our heads and says, hey, look at yourself without a head. Who are you? And Ketu represents the tail of the celestial snake, or the serpent, which represents all of our past lives, what we have worked through, not seen, become. He is what leads us toward moksha. And so what this tells me is that they're actually encouraging your ego to lead you toward moksha, because in past lives you have not put yourself first, and it is manifesting in this life. The main reason I say that is I got the Queen of Pentacles upright for you, my dear. This is a resource manager. She balances a lot of enterprise with care. She manages her kingdom with practical elegance, hospitality. She's very grounded in her physical nature. So it's important that you are level-headed, you're controlled. You build a solid foundation for yourself before you go out and help others. You know, there's a famous makeup entrepreneur, Estee Lauder, and she said, I never dreamed about success, I worked for it. You worked for a lot of success, but then you give it away to other people. And you have a lot of material ambitions. You've gone through them through grit. I know you're starting your micro farm, which is a huge part of the Queen of Pentacles. Focus on that. Focus on your health. Focus on your microfarm. Focus on doing what's best for you. It's important that you focus on your physical comfort right now, because putting yourself first is going to keep the toxic, less energetic and energy away from you. Okay? It's important that you try to not impress people you don't like, or in spirit especially. So this is the main energy that I got in and around you and why you're going through this. Okay? Because that's a lot. Because you not only sent me stuff about mom, but you also sent me all the stuff about your surgeries and everything else. I got the Seven of Pentacles. Sorry, the Seven of Swords. This is the Thief. Okay? This is a person who is taking all of your ideas, all of your work, and walking away with it. And he's got this smug look on his face. So this is all about someone who is taking away your power. Okay, so I know that Steve Jobs, I think he quoted Pablo Picasso, and he said, good artists copy and great artists steal. And these guys are disruptors. They use clever, independent maneuvering to bypass a lot of the traditional systems that we have in place that are collapsing right now, especially in the United States, los Estados Unidos, and they seize intellectual property, seize the work of others. Don't let people do this to you. Don't let them steal your energy, your worth, everything you have to bring. It's time that you put yourself first. Okay? That's what they want you to work on. All right? So you guys are giving me another one? Okay. So the first principle is that you must not fool yourself, and that you are the easiest person to fool. So it's important that you don't allow yourself to be fooled by these people that are going, help me, you have to do these things for me, when you yourself are going through your own crisis. Okay, put yourself first. You already know this. And it says, you say that, oh yes, I've always said I'd rather be the wizard behind the curtain than the one in the spotlight. Seven of Swords sounds like my boss, yeah. Well, you're surrounded by them. C. Mason, welcome. Worshipping the divine goddess. We're in Kali Yuga. If you're open to this, I'll give you a quote, okay, Tanvir? Om Krim Kalikaye Namaha. Om Krim Kalikaye Namaha. Om Krim Kalikaye Namaha. Do that 108 times on a mala, and do it in your head when you come across evil people. That'll help you. Okay? There you go. A little shielding for you. All right. Some patient says, yes, I already know to put myself first. It's not my superpower. Well, it should be, my dear, because you are important. Okay? Judith is here. Lovely to see you. Oh, Seema Sani. Oh, you're from India. I love that. Welcome, welcome. My guru's Indian. Okay. So I got justice in. I lost my job. Okay, I'll go ahead and put that in for you. Now know that I do go through. Oh yes, Estee Lauder's story is awesome, isn't it, Rachel? Yeah, I'm a big fan of her. And you got upright queen, woohoo. I love that. Good news for me. Yes, some patience, but you got to put yourself first in order to take on that throne. And as you notice, like, look at your sign. What do you see on her throne? What is that? Let me try to get it in thing. That's the head of the Capricorn. Put your material needs first. This is important for you, my dear. Okay? See the Capricorn? Little bunnies? First, make your own ground fertile. Okay. Oh, Steve, thank you. I got your question in. Please tell me about me. Oh, okay, Seema-san, I'll put you in. Questions are still open, Judith, but just know that we are going in order. Okay. Let me clear this up. I'm doing behind the scenes work too, guys, so just be patient with me. All right. So, Susan, go ahead and ask your question, love. because I want to get you in before we, I'm not seeing it in the chat on Venmo. So we're going to go ahead and get to Pure Love Essence. Okay, Pure Love Essence. I don't see, okay, I'm looking for your question. If you're here, Pure Love Essence, go ahead and put your question in or let me know who you are. I know who you are in person. I just want to know who you are here. And then some patient says, LOL, I'm trying. Fighting for myself is exhausting. Well, that's why the guides have you here to do that. So in an incarnate body, you can start to put that yourself first, so that in a spiritual body, that it works. I'm still in the ring, just trying to plan a mother's critical condition, distraction. I don't need to, no, your mother's condition is, you have to make your own base secure before you, I mean, if you read The Art of War, it's make your base secure before you start your own base. My Western astrology mentor, Monte Farber, taught me that. And I have a very strong Mars. So this is something that I definitely can agree with. Okay, Justice, I got your question in love. Oh, I'm so sorry you're having issues with Tanvir. It could be Saturn, maybe. I mean, I actually have a lot of Ravati friends that are having issues with businesses. Some patient says, but yes, very helpful. Everything I ask comes back essentially. Don't worry about it. Focus on yourself. And Rachel, yes, I know Monte is your cousin. I mean, I use his cards in my daily readings. So, yeah. And then some patient says, I keep the 48 laws of power on my wall behind the monitor. Excellent. You just keep putting yourself first because you're here to be a Queen of Pentacles, okay? You're here to rule, not to be subjugated. Again, I cannot wait until you schedule a reading for me because you have like the most fascinating life. I tend to go real deep, and I really, really love looking at people that chose to do their homework here in Mrityaloka, the place where all things die. And the more suffering I see someone do, the more I know that they are just an incredibly strong soul. So, okay. And Rachel says, I grew up with his tarot deck as a game. Oh my gosh, I'm in the basement pulling that thing out and being like, why is this fascinating? I was probably 6. Well, there you go. It's in the family. I love that. Let's see. C. Masony, I got your question. And yes, we love Monte, don't we, Susan? Yes. Okay, Judith, got your question. And some patient says planning on emailing you the details and getting that scheduled. When you're ready. I mean, I just want to look at your chart because you are a fascinating person, my friend. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's see. So I got Cheryl, got Rachel Rose. Some patients, we got your question. Okay, Susan, you are next. Susan, go ahead and ask your question, my love. And let me get that in. And by the way, you guys, Susan has the most amazing philanthropy going on. It's incredible. Let me just go ahead and, you're welcome to put it in the chat, Susan. But it is one of my favorite things in the world right now. Her website is amazing. We loved it. We haven't had a chance to use the AI app yet with the, I'm guessing it's like an AI pastor thing. So, but yeah, it's really cool. Let me see if I can find it. It's not coming up on messages. I love it when that happens. But yeah, you're welcome to put it in the chat, Susan. I'm always, always happy to support your business and what you're doing. She's got Jupiter 12th house and Pisces, which is, you know, starting churches, ashrams, and spiritual organizations. And I've had so many visions and dreams about what she's doing with that. It's incredible. You are a force of nature. And then your question is above. Okay, let me see. You'll ask it again. Okay. I'm going to try to find it. It's usually a little longer, so I can usually find it. And then, Steve, we are going to get to you, sweetie. I'm just going in order. Yeah, for some reason, Facebook questions are not always coming into the chat on StreamYard because it's not on here, Susan. This happened last week, which I thought was interesting. And Gerald mentioned it on his channel as well. So I'm in the middle of all of it. I'm eager for any advice at this moment about priorities and such like. I'm grateful. Okay, I know you are, you are in it, my friend. The number one thing you need to look for is business partnerships and relationships, okay, because those are going to be enormously tested, especially after September 25th of this year. That is when we talked about this. Some major things are going to change in the partnership front because the Varshapal shows a major shift, okay? So watch your money, keep it separate. That's the main thing I can say for you. In making this move forward, know that by after your birthday in 2027, you will have a major energetic and physical reset. Mars will be at 100% and be the Lord of your house during that time. And again, you guys, I actually wrote, I think it was like 60 to 80 pages for her chart the other day. And it's because she's got such strong spiritual energy that I just feel the need to keep putting energy into that. But the main thing that you need to focus on is your overall spiritual protection when it comes to your assets, and making sure that all of those things are preserved from those that do not know how to manage assets, okay? Because you have been very, very good at that, and another person in your life hasn't, and you need to kind of see the reality behind that. Obviously, you can give them the leeway that they need without giving them too much responsibility to the point where they undermine your authority and presence in this mission that you have. Here, we got a jumper. Okay. So, my dear, first quick thing I got. They love the fact that you're using AI. This is Aquarius. This is one of the best cards for AI, for technology. They love that you're talking to Claude, that you're doing all, your website's incredible, Susan. It's very well done. Susie Lee on the website. I have not tried out the AI pastor or whatever you have in place yet, because I have other things that we're doing, but I wanted to give it like my time and energy. But they really love that you're working with Claude and that you're doing these things with them. Oh, your Fable is phenomenal. Okay, so they love the AI that you're doing. Keep doing it, because what that's doing is it's really activating that 11 divisions on your Jupiter, which is the power to heal the world. I told you this at the very beginning. This is a very, very rare kind of yoga. It's ruled by Danteras, who's the god of Ayurveda in your chart. So you literally have the god of Ayurveda behind you when it comes to making this mission possible. And then you also have the additional support from spirit. And you're going on to love her. Claude is my strongest available till July 19th, and I'm working around the clock. Yeah, I totally understand that, Susan. So, the main thing that I got was, if you're able to separate your finances and other things that are going on and really, really look at things from a perspective outside of, how do I say this? Fear of the unknown moving forward, which I know that you're amazing at. I got the King of Pentacles. This is external authority over mastery. This is like a very pragmatic energy. It's prosperity. It's a prosperity in its best form. You're going to be the master of your domain in this particular place. And like I said, after your birthday in 2027, your entire health is going to change for the better. It's going to be an amazing transformation. So the ability to deal with people is a purchasable commodity, like sugar, like coffee. It will pay more for the ability than for anything under the sun. And that was Rockefeller. And this is the idealization of practical leadership. It's like you're able to see, you don't see people as commodities. You see them as resources that need to be seen on an eye-to-eye level. And you have the ability to build the infrastructure and build absolutely worldly stability in a way that is going to bring people health, prosperity in a time that is going to be very difficult. Okay. Now, I did get that there are some shadows in and around you, my dear. So the shadows that I see are this. Because you're dealing with your health and all of these other things at the same time, legal stuff and everything else, it's important that you don't drop the balls, okay? Because there's an overwhelm that can lead to lack of focus. It can bring about wasteful spending, and if you're unable to get some tasks completed, there's trouble keeping up with bills and everything coming at once. So they're saying slow down, take a breath, slow down, okay? Your Jupiter is in Ravati, all right? So Saturn's going over that right now, and Saturn's saying, hold the phone. I am going to show reality to you. And reality is, Jupiter represents the husband in a woman's chart. The reality is, I'm going to show you who this person is after September 25th for 3.5 years after that. Okay? Know that it's important that you put the balls down and try to focus on other things that Saturn, Shani Dev, the karmic teacher, is trying to teach you, because that is going to help you best deal with what's coming. Okay, now here's the shadow side of what's going on. I got a Queen of Swords reversed energy in and around you. Okay, this is someone who uses force or intimidation in your life. That a man who does not value himself cannot value anything or anyone. It was Ayn Rand that said that. And this is a shadow queen. This is an ice wall. She's weaponizing hyper-rationalization and lack of empathy and disdain for humanity. This is what you're fighting against. But it's important that if she's upright, that you are operating from a place of compassion guided by wisdom. You're loving with clarity, and you are accepting help without any kind of self-betrayal, and that you're meeting truth with kindness. So you're walking a razor's edge when I get this upside down. The razor's edge is putting yourself and your mission first, but at the same time seeing reality. That's difficult. But you have the divisions in your chart to deal with it. So this is who you are. You already know it. You're the Queen of Cups. You're an empath. You are one of the most beautiful people I've met. You are you're the kind of person who uses her intuition and sovereignty to help others. Okay. You are, I think it was Princess Diana that said, I lead with the heart, not with the head. I want to walk into a room and feel the emotions of people to them, so I can bring comfort, so I can hug them, so I can make them feel better. And she was the ultimate manifestation of this queen. She was emotionally intelligent. She had unparalleled empathy. And she had a life dedicated to healing others. And that's who you are in this process. So allow that Queen of Swords to go upright and see the truth, in addition to the empathetic environment that you're creating, so that you can protect yourself and your legacy. Okay? And then, yes, Queen of Cups. I know, that's why I mentioned it, because I looked at his Varshapal. Okay? And I wonder if the infrastructure to establish a nonprofit in church is more important than websites. Not sure. AI is going to change the whole thing. You're welcome to meet with me. AI optimization is going to change, because there is no such thing as search engine optimization anymore. It's AIO. So it's a whole different ball game now. And then I love you quoting Seinfeld at me. Thank you for sending me to grad school. Master of your domain. There you go. Well, apparently he read some Shakespeare too. I don't want to charge. It will cause looking at church to cover the cost. Well, the taxes are also going to be a little different too. So just know that, okay, my dear? All right, so this, my dear, is the ultimate card for you. Okay, this is what they really, really want you to focus on. Your sacral chakra, your Manipura. Empowerment. Rely on your inner strength to ensure that this beautiful dream that you're creating is realized. You're being asked to sense your own personal power, which is huge. You have so many divisions in your chart, it's ridiculous. You were a guru in a past life, according to your past life analysis. So when you tap into this, you're confident, you're responsible, you're reliable. The energy from this card is about optimism. It's about positive energy. Your dreams and your long-term goals are becoming your reality. So if you've been a little lethargic, a little unmotivated, especially with all the physical stuff you've been going through, take time to tune in to your own personal power because it's huge. Your astral self is really big. It's beautiful. So yellow is associated with our solar plexus. For everyone in the audience, it's here. It's the ab area, okay? And every time that it's out of balance when you criticize yourself or when you allow other people to criticize you, because they're here to weaken your resolve. Be loving and accepting of yourself. Acknowledge that you are the value and the foundation of what you're creating. That's going to balance that solar plexus energy. It's really important that you have a healthy level of self-esteem. This is about to become empowered after your birthday in 2027. It's just going to be like lit on fire. It's going to be amazing. I cannot wait to see this happen for you. But you must have respect for yourself before having respect for others, which you already have in spades. Okay, so be confident in your talents moving forward. Love yourself. Be willing to powerfully express yourself. Choose to be very direct in your desires moving forward. And if you're being asked about a decision, all indications are that your decisions are correct and the time is now. Don't allow other people to stomp that beautiful seed because it's really great. Okay. And then the name of the Eins Institute is Fire. Oh my gosh, I love that. Oh wow, Susan. You guys, this is truly an inspirational person. So, okay. Oh God, I love tapping into your energy, Susan. It's so fiery. So let's go on to our next question. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give a Barbara, you did tip. So I am going to go ahead and give you a general because I'm guessing you can't get online or something. I'm guessing that that's it. Let me see if I can open up the PayPal and see if you asked the question in there. So there are some people who come in and they can't get in. Oh, okay, so it's not coming up now. Interesting. Okay. Whew. Well, if you are a member, go ahead and ask your question. We're going to get to Steve. Wondering myself on my parents' health. Your mother was born. Oh. Okay, so we had a lot of planets going through Gandanta the week of December of last year. So she would be going through some health issues from there. So your mother was born December 3rd, 1943. She's handicapped. Your dad was born October 3rd, 1943 as a pacemaker. Okay, let's look at mom and dad. Well, one, congratulations on having a mom and dad that were born in 1943. That's a big deal. Okay. And then Susan says, thank you so much, wise counsel. I sent you a message about the lining to my site. Yes, thank you, Susan. You're amazing. And Asima Soni, please stop. If you keep asking for your answer, I'm not going to answer it. Okay, so please stop putting that in the chat and harassing Venus. Okay, setting a boundary here, my friend. All right. And oh, Judith, you love my Tarot Stash mug. Yeah, I'm always here to support the stash. Yeah, he's one of my good friends. We love Gerald. I every show, every reading, I bring my stash mug. And Jonathan and I are down to 2 suitcases, so it's a big deal for me to have anything that's got weight in the suitcase. Okay, Mom and Dad for Mr. Steve. Mom. Okay. Okay. Was Mom very business oriented, Steve? If you're still here, you did tip, so I'm going to answer your question anyway, but okay, so you have one parent that's very business oriented. They're like the CEO of the house, and you have another parent that's just like head in the clouds, spiritual, bringing all that great, beautiful spiritual energy down. There's a huge dichotomy here, where you have someone that's very business-like, very goal-oriented, and then you have another person that's just like, whoa, really spiritual and tapped into the higher realms. You're welcome, Venus. Got to set those boundaries. Okay. There's Mom. Now let's look at Dad. Okay. Well, wow, they're really connected, Steve. I can see where your passion for business and making money comes from. I'm not seeing you in the chat. Hopefully you can get this. So this is what I got. One parent, I'm guessing this might be Mom. I got Capricorn, a lot of dedication to achieve, big goals. She thinks like a business person, a CEO, even if she, wasn't in charge of an empire. This is the card that I got for her. Her wishes did not come true. She had a very ambitious goals. I mean, just, this girl was from birth extremely oriented, and she feels the same way about her health and everything else. She's a go-getter, and she tries to do the best that she can to support herself. She's got a gift from the divine coming. I got Ace of Pentacles. Now, the Ace of Pentacles is a very beautiful card, because what it tells me is that you can see the hand is coming from the sky here out of a cloud, and it's in a garden. And what this tells me is that she has had a lot of miracles happen in her life. And when I see this level of like divine, for lack of point, intervention, she's done some good things in past lives. She's got a lot of ground potential around her, because this is a seed of wealth. This is a card that represents, solid opportunities, physical vitality, and a raw potential to build a lot of abundance. But she just didn't feel emotionally fulfilled because she was very ambitious. So I think it was Warren Buffett that said, someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. And she's built a lot of solid investments, but she's not really feeling the emotional connection to that. The reason she's not feeling the emotional connection to that, because all of our diseases are because of dis-ease, all right, is because spiritually, she might be starving herself a little bit. I got Pisces. I got this for Dad, and he's actually here to kind of show her, hey, there's more than just material acquisition and wealth and what you're able to do for the rest of the family, which I guess she's very good at. This is the reason I say that is I got the Queen of Pentacles reversed. This tells me that she might have put the material above the spiritual a little too much and not realized that all of it's from the spiritual. And your father was here to show her that. So this is someone who is more on the side of the material, to the point of almost greedy with material, because of the insecurity that has been built from a past trauma that she lived. This is some scar that she had in a past life that she's working through. It's a toxic form of material security. And I think it was David Ramsey that said, we buy things we don't need with money, and we don't have to impress people we don't like. So she needs to develop some boundaries in this area and see the spiritual lesson that your father came here to show her. Now, your father's not as good with money. He got Page of Pentacles, okay? But what this tells me is that he doesn't see it as as big of a thing, because when I see Pisces, as he's bigger in the spirit, which is really interesting. It tells me that, you know, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. And so he's looking at money very differently than your mother does. And he is like a youth seeking to understand the laws of money, commerce, and real world execution from your mother. But she puts so much emphasis on that there's a disconnect there. And that's what's causing the illness. That's what's causing the dis-ease. All right. I did get the Chariot reversed for both of them. They're going to be up for a while. Okay. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge for both of them. There's a loss of control. There's some scattered focus going on. It's really important that they talk to each other. It's really important that they share stories with each other. You can actually act as a bridge between the two of them, between the spiritual and the material aspects of life, because they both need to support each other. I see the material as being the seed of the lotus and the spiritual as being the bloom. The bloom cannot resist. The bloom cannot exist without the root, even though the root is in the mud and the bloom is above the water seeking God. They have to exist together, and that's what they're learning as a couple. And they're going to dis-ease together so that they can find some kind of a bridge between that, and you can be the Rajasic stem that brings them together. That's the image that they gave me. So know that they both need to realize that whether it's spiritual or material, their glory is fleeting. But the obscurity of sudden defeat will always result in losing the reins of ambition, whether it's spiritual or material, and they have to find that balance between the two of them. Okay? That's what I got. So, your parents are really great people. Wow. The fact that they're still here tells me that they're learning from each other, and the fact that they were together for this long also tells me that one is here to learn spiritual, one is here to learn material, and they're here to balance each other. And they're going through dis-ease together so that they can finally have that powwow and go, you know what? I did this. You know what? I did this. And then finally put the puzzle pieces together and find out that one and the other are not separate. They're in fact part of a whole. All right. I hope that was helpful, Steve. Oh, your parents are amazing. Okay. Okay, Alex, thank you for your gift. I appreciate that. Oh, pure love, you're here. Oh, it's lovely to see you, my dear. All right, so pure love is next because you did. Thank you for your membership, my dear. What do I need to know this week? Okay, and then after that, we will have Alex. Okay. And I pray to Chamunda every single morning, Pure Love Essence. And we say a very special prayer to her just for you. So Chamunda Devi is very dear to Jonathan and I. He learned the Chamunda Devi mantra from Swami Brahmananda on the Ramayana. And you have a photo of it. Do you want to go get the photo? Oh, you're good? Okay. But it's on the altar. But yeah, she's one of our favorite devatas, forms of the divine feminine. All right, let's see what's going on for you, my dear. Miss Trinity. Okay, what do you need to know this week? Okay. So, the main thing that they want you to focus on is your material balance. When I pull Virgo, it tells me that this is about getting into the details of your situation. This is the card of the bureaucrat. It's not only service to others, but it's looking at things from, you're in a situation that involves a lot of other people, organizations, and systems. And it's important that you really try to understand those systems and how they're helping you or harming you. Okay. The reason I say that is because I did get the Tower reversed. Now, this is all about a delayed awakening. So there might be a fear of collapse, but this is a good time to start over. You're not who you thought you were in the past, and you're facing a lot of issues that could have been avoided, but your spirit is really stepping into its power because this is the ending of a lot of really negative relationships in your life. Now, I know that it was Winston Churchill that said, those who do not learn from initial tremors of history are doomed to watch their entire civilization slowly decay into unlivable ruin. And he was a big advocate during World War II. So you come from a place of a civilization that has been mistreated, a culture that has been abused and used. You come from a incredibly powerful female line that has been misaligned for the purposes of a toxic patriarchy. And you are being asked to walk away from that and stand in your truth and stand in your power. Okay? This is an ego collapse, but at the same time, it is a call to an empowerment phase for you. And that's why Chamunda is your main deity. She is the Ishtadevata of the time for you in this point in your birth. Okay? This week, this is what you can work on, my dear. I got 9 of Wands reversed. So this is all about, it's important that you don't exhaust yourself. Okay? This is my paranoia and total exhaustion card. It was Al Capone who said, I don't trust anyone. I only trust not even myself. I don't trust anyone, not even myself. Because he went through so much pain, so much betrayal, so much stuff. Because, you know, this is where the shadow of hypervigilance turns into a complete mental isolation. And it leads to kind of like this bunker mentality persona where you're just like, I'm just going to hide in my little hole. And it leads to a physical breakdown. I've been through this. You're not alone. I've been through extreme stuff just like you have. So it's important that you know that your greatest glory in living lies in never failing, but rising every single time you fall. I think that was Nelson Mandela. So, you know, you're very heavy-hearted, but know that because you're an undefeated warrior, my dear, you are fully prepared to fight the final round of life, and that you have been through so much and you're so strong and you're so beautiful that you can fight these final rounds, but you have to get out of your bunker, start serving, start figuring out the systems that broke you down and standing above them. Read anything by Nelson Mandela because he's actually coming through the reading and saying, tell her about me. That's why he gave me that quote. That's why he said that to me. Read about Nelson Mandela, okay? He's going to help you through that, okay, my dear, because he is a huge advocate for you, in addition to Chamunda Devi, because he came down in spirit to help warrior spirits like yourself. Okay, my dear? I hope that was helpful. I'm picking up from the Tower card. The UK system is collapsing in new ways from the outside. Yeah, that's why I got Virgo, which is about the bureaucratic system and understanding it. Nelson Mandela helped people through apartheid. He helped people of color that were being oppressed, ostracized, and not fully recognized under the governmental systems of law rise up, and he was imprisoned for it. But my God, what a soul. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yes, Venus, I will get you in, of course. You are in, my dear. Okay. Let's see. I'm just following your questions up here, making sure I get everyone. Okay. So our next, let me just check my site here. Our next tipper is Alex, and then we have the lovely Venus. So how does Ian feel about me? Okay, let's see what Ian feels. Now, here's the deal. I'm an Aquarian moon. Jonathan can tell you this. If someone doesn't like me or they don't want to be around me, I go, you go find your person. There's over 8 billion people in the world. I just walk away. I don't blame the person they're cheating. I don't give into the drama. It's a waste of my time. If you're wondering about how someone feels about you because they're not willing to tell you, they either are neurodivergent, in which you can like actually have a conversation with them and their therapist and figure out your relationship. But outside of that, they're not the person for you. Okay. So let's see. Actually, your guides are telling you to focus on your career, Alex. What do you do for a living, my dear? That's what they have you focused on. That's the main thing. Okay, Pure Love Essence says, I remember him, Nelson Mandela. I differently relearn about him. Yes, look him up. Like, look at, there's a biography about him. There's quotes. It can give you a lot of strength and power with what's going on, especially now, my dear. Yes, helpfully. Thanks. You're so welcome. Sending you so much love, my dear Pure Love Essence. Oh, and Steve, I did do your reading. I hope you go back and read it. It's so good to see you in the audience. I really tapped into mom and dad there. I'd love to hear your feedback because sometimes I get my wires crossed, but they were going back and forth. One spiritual, one practical. Woo, that was fun. Okay. So, how does Ian feel about me? Well, your guides want you focusing on you. Did you meet Ian at work? Is there something going on with work? Because I'm getting 10th house energy here. You're fine, Alex. You're great. But you need to beware of Ian. Okay? You're a person of responsibility, success. You are able to really put things forward. Okay? No, not at work. Nothing at the moment. Are you at work? Do you have a career? That's what they want you to focus on. Because I got 3 of Pentacles here. There's a project, something that is going to come your way that they want you to focus on. That's going to help you become a person of power and status. It's coming your way. If I were to look at your chart, I could see if your 10th house was activated by a benefic like Jupiter or something like that, or Venus, even the moon. This tells me that's where they want your focus to be, not on relationships, but on your material gain and not on, a man is not a financial plan. Let's just put it that way. Okay, Alex, it's important that you focus on collaborating with others outside of interpersonal relationships to empower yourself. And that's what the guides are asking you to do. That's difficult to kind of achieve, but it's important that you focus on your career and working with others because that's what you came here to do. Your higher self said, you know what? I've had to rely on partners in past lives and do all of this stuff. And that's where those samskaras, those past life energies are leaking through and going, where's my partner? Where's my partner? I can do all these other things. Where's my partner? No, it's about you this time. It's about you taking sovereign control. It's about you becoming the best person or version of yourself when it comes to supporting yourself, because this is who you can be once you do that. Queen of Pentacles. Can't get much better than this, my dear. This is a resource manager. She's balancing expertise with care. She's managing her kingdom. She's practical. She's elegant. She's hospitable. She's grounded in her physical nature. She brings good fortune to everyone around her because she is a woman of worth and she is independent. I'm getting that Beyonce song in my head. Independent woman, okay? She's level-headed, she's controlled. She's a pragmatic sovereign, okay? So this is all about growing this part of yourself, putting that crown on and owning your sovereignty. When it comes to Ian, when it comes to this, the divine is trying to teach you something about yourself, to stop relying on people in and around you to provide the support system, either emotionally, mentally, etc., around you, and start owning your own power, because it's only going to bring insecurity when you don't take on those things. I got 9 of Wands. What does this tell me? Guard yourself from relationships right now. Put yourself first. Okay? So I was looking, this is where you're, see, This is who you are in relationships. This is who you are when you put yourself first, when you put your material needs first, when you start cooperating with others and you take on a career that empowers yourself. That's what they're asking you to do. Until you do that, you're not going to find a very balanced relationship. Okay. Otherwise, you're going to be like hyper vigilant, refusing, to let go despite all the exhaustion that you're put through. This tells me that Nelson Mandela, are you just here for the readings tonight? The greatest glory in living lies in never failing, but rising every time we fall. Okay, so he was an undefeated warrior who was standing guard. He was wounded, but fully prepared to fight in the final round of his life. You need to do the same thing. You need to stop relying on relationships to become a person of power and status and become your own freaking queen. Okay, once you do that, you're going to attract some people that are just going to like blow your world. Okay. That is the main energy that I got in and around you. Don't focus on the relationship, focus on you, collaboration, career, yourself. Okay, my dear? Whew. Right, some patience? A lot of women are being called to empower themselves right now. Oh, and Pure Love Essence says, I found a Nelson Mandela free audio book online on YouTube. You're welcome to put the link in the chat, my dear. And you're welcome, Alex. Put you first, my dear. You're amazing. And yes, isn't she great? Venus, you're wonderful. Thank you for recognizing her, Tanvir. And you understand that, Alex. That's wonderful. Oh. And I know you're waiting for your turn. I'll get to you, Tanvir. Okay. So the lovely Venus is next. Let me get to you, my dear. Okay. Reading on your mother's health, her date of birth, 7/8/51. Okay, I don't have time to put it in because when I pull up my software during the show, it can cause the feed to interrupt, and I don't want to. I don't want to log off on you guys. So apparently, it uses a lot of RAM on my computer. Okay. So happy birthday to your mom. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Okay. And questions are closed unless we get a donation, everyone, okay? Okay, what's going on with Venus's mama? Oh, come on, you guys. This is good. All right. First card I got was Cancer. Cancer is the sign of mom. It rules the fourth house. It's what makes us feel stable and alive and good. Okay, my dear? So this is all about you finding you and being completely you. Okay, with mom. All right, this is literally intuition to protect your feelings, your past. Oh, mom brings out a lot of feelings for you, my dear. So this is actually a really good card to get when I pull this. It tells me that you have a beautiful heart for mom, a beautiful heart for family. You are really tapped into what's going on. Okay, so you asked about mama's health. Okay, the main thing that I got is a good card was I got the Chariot. Things are moving in the right direction. Determination, willpower, goals, preparation, like good things are happening. I think it was Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita who said the mind is restless and difficult to restrain, but because it's represented, he's the driver of the chariot. So he says the mind can be restless, it can be difficult to restrain, but it can be restrained and subdued by practice and dispassion. And when the senses, which are these two little horses here, are restrained and mastered, and they're steered by our intellect, victory is assured. So the ultimate charioteer is Lord Krishna, and these black and white sphinxes are the absolute submission to forward progress. So the divine is stepping in to help mom. The divine is stepping in to slow her down. Your mother is a little like you in that she tends to just kind of go pedal to the metal and then burn out. And they're trying to teach her that it's important to put the physical body in context rather than wear it out. Because when we're left with dis-ease, it's usually a sign that the spirit is trying to get our attention about something. Okay, so there's control in this area. There's some good things happening. She's going to be okay in the sense of, and you're going to be okay in the sense of family. All right. So that's the good news. All right. I did get that, mom is going to have some issues in the reading that I gave you, I think about a year ago when I first moved to Mexico. Oh, it's been a year. But the main thing that I got was the 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles is the happy family. Okay, this is all about really finding a sense of a multi-generational empire. This card represents your legacy. It's a structural permanence. It's all about security. Okay, so there's a dynamic structure behind your mother. And so it's really important that you look at this as a peak of structural artha. Artha means material balance in the family and the building of a generational financial system that's so vast and permanent that it outlives individual rulers. You are a very important part of your mother and your father's dynamic because you understand the business, you understand the family, and you can carry on the legacy. So it's important that you learn from her what she's carried on to you, and that you integrate yourself into the systems that your parents have created in order to carry on the legacy of Artha. It's A-R-T-H-A. You can look it up. It's a Sanskrit word for carrying forward the work of legacies of families of truths that bring people into the human body and into these experiences toward the divine. It's a beautiful thing. I think it was Nathan Rothschild that said that I care not what puppet is placed on the throne of England. The man who controls Britain's money supplies the control of the British Empire. So it's important that you get control of the money. It's important that because you can be trusted with it. So talk to mom about that. Talk to her about how it's being organized, how it's being regulated, because you're at the peak of your structural artha, which tells me that you are helping build a generational financial system for the rest of your family that's so vast and permanent that it outlives individual rulers. So you can be trusted. And it's important that you make yourself a trusted resource in the family so that you can protect the other members. And that's why she's staying alive. That's why she's helping you with that chariot energy and moving the family legacy forward and supporting the other members of the family. Okay, and know that there are some people in your family that are a little bit foolish. Don't listen to them. Okay, that's the main thing. Because any fool can make a fortune, but it takes a man of brains to hold on to it, or a woman in your case. So it's important that you follow that legacy. Okay. Oh. Whew. Yes, that's why she had to stay off her feet for months last year. Said spirit said slow down. See, mom's just tapped in. And then, hey, honey, you want to turn off the lights and we can show everybody the beautiful night sky here in Mexico City? And then very positive sign. Yes. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Michelle. You're so welcome, Venus. Oh, I love tapping into your family. It's really beautiful. You can turn off the bar light here. You can keep that light on, the one in the hallway, and then turn off the bar light. Love you, sweetie. Yeah, I'm trying to keep Jonathan's legacy alive. I'm his main supporter, despite Parkinson's, Lewy body dementia, everything else. And he's my best friend, but it's a little scary when it's like all on one person, like the business, the health, everything else. Yeah, you can turn that one off. And then, yeah, keep the bedroom light on. Let's see how it looks. There we go. Now you guys can see the outside. Okay. I know, I love Mexico, you guys. It's so pretty. Okay. And then some patient says, tonight I put both feet on the laptop screens. I'm enjoying the wider angle. We get to check out Jonathan in the background and include him in the night of laughter and insight. Oh, honey, they love you. Oh, there's Jonathan. He's in both. Yay!
He's apparently heading into the lights.
He's heading. Oh, you're a ways from the light. He's got about 12 years left. I actually looked at when he's going to die, and we had a discussion about it. We planned it. We're good. I'm going to be 89 or 98, depending on how my kidneys do. So I know it's true because, I mean, when you're in Jyotish this deep, when you're like under a self-realized person learning this stuff, it's you just know. Like, I know when Donald Trump's going to die, it's not going to be, yeah, okay, that's a whole thing. So Venus says, I'm the most trusted in my family. If it wasn't for me, my dad would have been cremated and he wouldn't be cremated. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So my dear, that's you. Time to take over. Your mom is staying alive so she can teach you, she can pass the baton. I just got a track race and I coach track and she was passing you the baton. That's Spirit's way of telling me that she's going, hey girl, you got this. Live like there's no tomorrow. Oh my God, Michelle. Yeah. Do you and Jonathan have children? We had chihuahuas and stray cats. Our children are the people here. I told Jonathan that all of you and everyone around me is, you know, because I have Cancer and Cancer Sun, Cancer Mercury, it's Ashleisha. Pushya Sun, Ashleisha Mercury. And I see the world as my children. So I'm so glad you found that beautiful, Venus. Oh, and Jean says, Venus, same with my grandmother, myself, she wanted to be buried. There you go. You know, you're advocating for your family and they're recognizing that. And lovely to see you, Kaylee. Oh, love you in the the astronaut costume. It's not too late to ask the question, Rhoda, if you tip, but questions are closed unless we receive a donation. Okay. Whew. Let's see. Just making sure I got to everyone. Okay. I think I got everyone in the tippers. Okay. So let's go in order. Amon 99, are you here? I love that you're going into psychiatry. That is a very Ardra job. I wonder if you have any planets in Ardra Nakshatra, especially in your D10 chart. Exogene, I know you're here. You're next. Intentions toward me. Maria Scorpio, are you here? Frank Bell, are you here? You're the next three, okay? You have to be here for your questions, my love. Oh, Fun Boy, you tipped. Okay. And then, oh, Exogene, are you Leo Tropical Sun? Yes, I am. My birthday's this month on the 27th. I'm going to be on with Gerald on my birthday. So, and then my doctors gave me 9 to 13 years with my heart condition. Well, I can tell you. I can actually tell you when you're going to, like, if you really want to know, because we have to be careful with it. But like, if a person asks me like person to person, I'll give it to them. Like, I know when I'm going to die, and I know when Jonathan's going to die. I don't like mention it out online or like in person when it comes to even celebrities, because I don't want that bad karma. But if people ask me like in private, I'll tell them. So, and then Fun Boy, how will things turn out working with Sri Yantra? What to do if you move from town? Okay. Om Shreem, Om Shreem, Om Shreem, Om Shreem. Wealth will come your way if you do that mantra. Okay? And the yantra is a beautiful, beautiful thing to look at and focus your attention on as you do Sri Yantra and mantra as well. If you move from town, spirit is everywhere. It is the all-pervading essence throughout the universe. So it doesn't matter where you move. But I can look into the astrocartography of your chart to figure out what your karma looks like in different places. Because you as a jiva or individual soul can be affected by your karmic influences from past lives, aka samskaras. But when it comes to the yantra and the worship, it's the same everywhere. And just saying the mantra, especially in Kali Yuga, in the Mitra Loka, where all things die, where all things perish, which is where we live here on Earth, Uva Loka, it's one of the most powerful things that you can do, look at, and focus on. Okay, so I will pull some cards for you, fun boy, just to kind of see the energy in and around what you're doing for your current spiritual practice and whether or not it's in alignment with what is going on for you and what's going on with spirit. Okay. Okay, so there are some structural elements that you need to look into. I highly recommend seeking out a guru. Sri Ravi Shankar is very good. He's like the main guy right now, right? Sri Ravi Shankar. Yeah. Oh, we got a flyer. I got the sun for that. So, all right. So you're currently not seeking the right guidance when it comes to your worship practice. If you say Om Tat Sat or Tat Twam Asi at the end of any prayer, it will negate a lot of the negative effects, especially if you're coming from a place of bhav or love when it comes to your practice of Sri Yantra and Sri Mantras. Okay, so it's really important that your heart and your soul is into it, but it's very, very important to seek out a guru for your practice. And Sri Ravi Shankar is the main guy right now. But I got the reason that it's not working out. I got 3 of Pentacles reversed. Okay, this tells me that you need to come together with other people for your bhakti. And keeping together will bring you a lot of progress, because when you work together, that will bring a lot of success in your spiritual path and advancement, especially when it comes to everything else, because this is a lack of cooperation card. You know, I think it was Stephen Elop. He was the former CEO of Nokia. My first cell phone was a Nokia. And he said, if we didn't do anything wrong, but we somehow lost. And I really looked into that as just someone who worked in the tech field. And it's a shadow side where there's like very internalistic bureaucratic friction happened because there was a lack of specialized skills for the Nokia company. And that failure to collaborate resulted in a total systematic failure. Nokia could have been like the next Motorola, or it's kind of like the difference between Toyota and Nissan when I was taking business in college. If you look at this from a perspective of spiritual advancement, you've got to find a CEO to follow that knows what they're doing, and you need to find a good guru. So that's the main thing that I got. Once you find that good guru, you're going to literally come into a new way of being and thinking about looking at the yantra, etc. Okay, the sun card is really important because it tells me that you are stepping into a new childlike relationship with the divine. This is about radiance. It's about radiance. It's about joy. It's about validation. It's success. Joy is your ultimate reality. It's the very nature of our spirit. When you enter into Ananda, into Samadhi, your inner sun shines forth unconditionally, and it illuminates this entire universe inside of you with just love and light and bliss. And it's the absolute peak of solar vitality. So when your ego is fully integrated and it radiates pure life-giving warmth, that can only be realized by a guru who can sit down with you and show you what that looks like. For me, it was through the Sivananda Yoga Vedantist Association, through my husband who worked under a self-realized person who recognized a saint. That's how I found it. You have to find a guru to follow, read the texts. You'll know it when you recognize them. But if you're really going to follow this path, it's important that you have a preceptor to guide you along the way. And that way you're able to connect with the yantra, connect with the light, and fully integrate it into your being, both on a material and spiritual level, so that you can integrate both the jiva, which is here on earth, and also your higher astral self, which came here to learn quite a bit. Okay, fun boy? Hope that was helpful. Whew. Okay. Haven't started yet. A guru might be out of my pool. Well, he actually does a lot of visits throughout various U.S. cities and things like that. So I recommend that you just go to one of the conferences. You can actually just follow them on social media, buy their literature, and look into the writings and follow the actual tenets of a guru. You can take online classes as well. If you can't afford to physically move, because gurus are everywhere and they can reach across planes, just like we can with the internet. Oh my goodness. Whew. Oh, some patience. You're amazing. You have been such a warrior through all of that. Okay, Miss Rhoda, what to expect this coming week? Okay, my dear. You got it. Let me look. There's this really good orange and mango juice here in Mexico that I'm like addicted to. Oh, it's so yummy. I have to mix it with a little bit of water because it's a little too sweet and sour, but oh my gosh, it's so good. And then I have chamomile lavender tea at night. Oh, so good. I'm so blessed, you guys. You can afford all this stuff. Okay, expect for the coming week. Well, you're doing great. I got the first card I got for you, Rhoda, is Venus. That's enjoyment, charm, beauty, good times, pleasure. You're killing it. You're doing a great job helping others. You're still attracting jealousy though, because you have really good past karma. A lot of people, jealousy is just a form of them not recognizing that their past karma is something that they're paying off so that they can be more successful in their next birth. A lot of people don't think in terms of reincarnation because of the Christian aggregate to the Western experience. But we don't suffer an eternity of hell. We don't spend an eternity in heaven. We are literally here to become one with the divine source within us, which lies in the heart or the space between the eyebrows. And that's in all religions and all faiths. The divine Atman is every atom of the universe, and it represents every divine essence within us all. And when you attain samadhi, you can see it, you can feel it. So with that said, I got Venus. Venus is the guru to the demons. These are people who struggle with addictions, people who have trouble being here on earth, and that really, really struggle with the idea of inner sovereignty, and you're helping them with that. And you are doing an amazing job, my friend. I look up everything that you're doing, and it is absolutely amazing, okay? This is the overall energy that I got for what you're doing. You are a magician. You know exactly what you're doing. You are very skilled in this area. That's why you were hired to do it. There's infinite potential accessed in this pool of wisdom. And it's through your own conscious will, not only from this lifetime, from past lifetimes as well. Because this is the card of manifestation aligned with divine will. Okay, so the mind is the creator of everything, and you should guide your mind to create only good, and you're doing that. If you hold on to a thought with dynamic willpower, it will materialize, and you're helping other people do that, especially people that are stuck in addiction, people that look at this world as a way of escapism, or like they come down here in this human body and they're like, how do I get out of this thing? Or how do I make this thing feel better? And you're going, there's ways to channel this. There's ways to mitigate this. And you're helping them be in absolute alignment. And you're acting through by being a clear conduit for cosmic energy to help reshape their reality as a physical being in this world. So that's a big deal. You're going to come across people that are negative towards you. Let it go. I got Amba. Amba, I explained this to Rachel earlier, was a divine princess who sought revenge for the people that were trying to keep her away from her goals and what she wanted to do. Let it go. Walk away. The main reason I'm telling you to walk away from any issues that you are going to come across is because I got the Eight of Cups. This is all about leaving the drama behind. If someone's creating some drama, just be like, you know what? This isn't mine. This is their own karma, their own crap. The next stage of your journey is to just walk away from that drama. You leave the theater because that movie does not feed your soul anymore. Okay, so if you deal with some drama this week, if you're dealing with some stuff going on, know that this is the classical archetype of a spiritual seeker. You're abandoning this stale emotional environment to pursue your true mystical alignment, which is in helping people overcome their addictions, which is very difficult when you land into when the soul is put into these physical hard bodies and they're not really used to them, especially if they come from the lower realms of existence, which Venus is Shukra, which is guru to the demons, the Rakshasas and the Asuryas, and you're helping them fight through the physical ailments and temptations that are coming their way. So keep to your task and don't let other people bring you down, especially emotionally, because the work that you're doing is absolutely divine. Just keep that in mind. Okay? Oh, I'm getting tired. Okay. All right. All right. So, and then you sent hearts. That explains it. Okay. I'm so glad. You're welcome, Rhoda. You're doing great, sweetie. Oh, I love following you and liking all of your beautiful work that you're doing. You're an amazing soul. Okay. Iman, I did not see you check in. Let's see. Jean, I know, is here. May I ask what is letter intentions toward me? Letter I. Okay. I will look. Here's the thing. When it comes to relationships, I'm the kind of person that just goes, just tell me what you're thinking. What you're feeling. Unless you had a really bad day at work, then just, you know, have a snack and take a nap and then tell me how you're feeling, you know. Let's see how they're feeling towards you. If they're not able to, oh, this is karmic. Okay. If they're not able to express themselves or show themselves to you, it's because they're hiding something that they don't want you to see. They could be ashamed of it. What is it, you guys? Huh. Wow. Okay. Oh. All right, they're here to teach you about you. This is a relationship from a past birth. It didn't end well. It didn't end well at all. Okay. Let's see. He's been sick with chronic illness for several months. It's the sickness that he's embarrassed of. This is what you need to focus on. This isn't your karma. What you need to focus on is a little different. Okay, Jean? What you need to focus on is you are a busy person. They have you sitting at a desk. Now, this is a beautiful woman that's doing some spell work. Okay, she's sitting in front of her laptop. She's got her candles out, all of her spells and everything else open to the universe. She's doing some inner work here, and she is seeing this as a place of work. Okay, so they're asking you to literally step into, get on the grindstone. Okay, this is kind of an apprenticeship card, paying attention to the details, craftsmanship, duty. When it comes to the relationship, it was a little young, okay? The main reason I say that is because I did get the Page of Wands. This is a very enthusiastic partner. Actually, this tells me that it was really good. The sex might have been really good at the beginning, the physical connection, you know, the feeling that you had between each other physically might have been great. But if you stay hungry, you stay foolish. So it's important that you kind of move beyond this, because I didn't get the best card moving forward. I got the Lovers reversed. Okay, this person is here to show you that you need to move towards something that's a little more in depth, a little more in alignment with what you would like. Okay, because this is someone who's avoiding a lot of responsibilities. They're going the wrong way. They're putting their issues on maybe other people. But this is two partners that have chosen to go different ways. There's a miscommunication going on, okay? I think it was, oh God, who said that the heart was made to be broken. The worst thing about choices is that they show us what we are willing to betray to get what we think we want. I think that was Oscar Wilde that said that. And this is the shadow side of the misalignment that you have in this relationship. It's toxic relationship dynamics. It's internal conflict, codependency, making choices based on a surface level of desire, which is just like, hey, girl, that's it. Okay. What you're being asked to is to connect with your heart space, to connect with who you really are. I actually had a dream the other night with George Harrison, and he's my favorite Beatle. He's the quiet Beatle, and he represents the Ace of Cups for me, because you can see the heart space is here. It's open, it's beautiful. And he was a bhakti yogi. He connected with Yogananda. He connected with a lot of the spiritual yogis. He brought the Beatles and their music into the yogi and the atmosphere of higher dimensional thinking and being. And this is about spirit telling you to choose new love through compassion, desire, and an open heart, and not seek love that's just based on physical connection or superficial appearances. Okay, so you're pouring your love into a bottomless cup, but you need to start doing it from a place of the vessel of divine love. And what George Harrison said to me during the dream was, he said that the only thing we have to work on in this life is how to manifest love. Every one of us has a drop of that ocean, and we have the same qualities of God or the divine. So if you see yourself as a drop in the ocean of divine love, that is the ultimate expression of pure bhakti, the mystical realization that your soul is a drop in the infinite ocean of love. And when you realize that, you will attract a better love toward you, and therefore walk away from this past life thing of having to work for love, and it ends up being superficial. Okay? God, you guys are really loud tonight. Okay, I'm gonna jump in here. There we go. So yeah, the Lovers came up reversed again. So they're basically saying they're here to teach you, and there we go. They're teaching you about your heart space, where you're coming from. Put this first. See spiritual love as divine love, and you will attract better things in you and towards you, and realize that other people's karma is not yours, my dear. Okay? He seems deeper than that. Yeah, that's because it's from a past birth. You guys are karmically connected. You've had more than one life together, and that's why it feels deep. And they're asking you to cut it off. Okay? You were physical in the past, even though you weren't physical in this life. And you've been entrenched in work. That's good. That's what they want you to focus on. Okay? Ooh. You've got this. All right? Okay. I know you've never been physical, but like, how would you put this, honey? You've kind of seen, I've got a relationship axis here, and Jonathan can kind of maybe give you some, you getting anything, babe?
Spiritual energy is not chronological.
Mm-mm.
So, if there's a spiritual connection,
You want to tell them when you said, hey, when you first met me, what did you say? Actually, not when you first met me. It was a little while later. It was like a year and a half later. And I just went, no, no, no. And it was like 5 years into our relationship that I went, okay. But what did you remember what you said to me?
Oh, yeah, I've loved you for 1,000 lifetimes.
That's what he said to me, you guys. And you know what I said back? And I go, I don't remember those lifetimes. So you're going to have to get in reality. Just like, because I was going through a divorce and I was just like, you know what? I'm good. So we all go at our own pace. And I'm just saying that right now is not the time to take on someone else's stuff. Okay. And then you said the previous reading was more promising about him. Maybe his illness broke him. It's not your job to fix his illness and his brokenness. That's his job as a soul. You're not his mother. You're not here to do that for him. Carry your own baggage, my dear. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay? And then Venus says, my ex was in a karmic relationship. I didn't even know if it was meant until I met him. LOL. Yeah, I totally get that. Alfie Weirdo, welcome from Twitch. Okay. All right, let's see how many of you guys are still in the chat. This is going to be interesting. Amon, are you here? Maria Scorpio, are you here? Frank Bell, are you here? Justice Lethu, are you here? C. Mason, are you here? Please tell me about me. That's an interesting question. Oh, okay. Tanvir, I know, he's laughing too. Tanvir XOY, are you here? And Judith, are you here? And then on Nepal, are you here? All right. You guys are the last in the chat. Jean says, she's laughing. And then Venus says, right. Yeah. Oh, yay. Judith's here. All right. Judith came. Oh, and Pure Love Essence, I did give you your question. So if you go back a little bit, I did answer your question, sweetie. Oh, and Tenevere is here. Okay, so Judith and Tenevere. Okay. Oh, we love you too, Pure Love Essence. Gigi, did you ask a question? I don't think it got tagged. Oh my gosh, let me look up. Did Gigi ask a question, Venus? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going up. I'm looking. I know you came in a little earlier. I know that it's late there for you, but I'm not seeing it. Sometimes the questions don't come through. Yeah, it didn't come through. I'm not seeing it. Just to save you time, Venus. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get to, let me get back to the bottom here. Wow. A lot of you guys in the audience tonight. It's so great to have you all here. You're a great audience. Yeah, it's not on the mobile chat, Venus. Is number 2. Okay, Gigi. Re-ask your question and I'll put you in, love. Thank you for telling us. Sometimes it doesn't pop up on my end, because I'm on StreamYard, so it's a little different. And some patient says, another action-packed night of readings. Your following is growing. You'll have to start taking reservations. Oh my goodness, you're so sweet, some patients. I appreciate that. It's not on yours either, Venus. Yeah, so it's, Gigi, we didn't get it. It just didn't come through, love, if you asked the question. But if you do, I'll honor it. Okay, sweetie? So Tanvir was actually before Judith, according to the questions. I'm going to go ahead and delete everyone who did not check in. Give me a second. Because if you're not here, you're not here. All right. I love that the people that are most insistent don't tend to stick around. It's very interesting to me. So we have Tanvir, and then we have Judith. And then Gigi, re-ask your question, and I'll get you in, love. You can change your question. Yeah, there you go. Maybe that's why Spirit didn't let it go through. Love it when that happens. And then Judith said, you saw Gigi's question very early on. I saw it. Okay. All right. So you're, again, I'm going to honor it. So Tanvir, a few months I had to face many difficulties. My business went down and things went out of hand. Now I know what happened to me. Okay. If you go to my website, astrologicaltarot.com, and tell me your ascendant sign, I can tell you what planets are going through your, well, business would be 10th house. Could be 6th, employees. It just, your 10th house is Pisces. That would tell me everything I need to know because you have Shani going through there right now. But I'll pull some cards for you, okay, love? What is going on? Many difficulties, business up and down. Well, I'll tell you, the whole world economy is shifting, and we're heading into World War III because the entire, if you look at the Yama return of the world, the entire Western world is going through Lord Yama right now. He is collapsing old systems and making way for new ones. And if you're able to connect with neurodivergent people and systems, you're going to be able to better understand the future of the next empire that's coming. If not, Saturn might be going over your sun, because I got the sun reversed, and then I got Capricorn. That could be going on, but your ego's getting like squashed when it comes to business. That's huge. And Lord Yama's involved. It could be Pluto, which is Lord Yama. He's here to teach you something. He's the brother of Lord Shani. And he's Lord of Death. Okay, yeah, you're going through some karmic stuff. You're going through some ego battles. This is big stuff, okay? All right, Gigi, I got your question in. And Salama, questions are closed unless we get a tip, okay, love? Okay, so Tanvir. So the main thing that I got was Capricorn. This represents business. This represents how you represent yourself to the world. It is, it's your material security. It tells me that you are very entrepreneurial minded. All right. So this is why this is so difficult for you, because you are very much in the throes of putting your ego into what you can accomplish as a human being on a material level. I got death reversed. Okay, this is a fear of change. You're clinging on to fear of the unknown, and you're gripping onto outdated situations when it comes to your relationship with your business. So it's important that decay is resistance to change, and your business will decay until you start making some major changes in the way that you integrate your business moving forward. So the denial of death is a desperate clinging to what is already expired. It's partially responsible for people living empty, anxiousless, and purposeless lives. So it's really important that you stop holding on to the corpse. Okay, that's the main thing they're showing me. And you're being paralyzed by this fear of change and terminal decay, and it's bringing a lot of prolonged suffering through stagnation. Time to change, time to flip the lights on, time to face the inevitability that the entire world is changing when it comes to business, and that you need to adapt. Okay, my dear, because this is a big freaking deal when it comes to how we, I think it was Einstein that said that the highest knowledge is adaptation. It was something like that, where he said the more adaptable you are, the more intelligent and knowledgeable you are in moving forward. So the next card I got, and this is how you're feeling, okay, was I got the Sun, but it came up reversed. Okay, so this tells me that there are going to be a lot of delays as you adapt to these changes in your business. AI changed the world, and it's going to continue to change the world. I worked in search engine optimization. It's dead. I'm now working in AI when it comes to my career. So there's going to be some bad communication, some delays in your success. There's going to be some happiness, but not as much as what's needed. And it's important that you take any feelings of unworthiness as you go through this transformation and toss them aside, because it's really important that you keep your face, like you want to put this upright, not upside down, okay? Keep your face to the sunshine, and then you can't see the shadow behind you. If you turn away, the shadow will engulf you, and your own light will become a scorching desert of arrogance. So I think it was Helen Keller that said that. So your shadow side is being temporarily, you're being temporarily blocked, okay? There's a severe energy drainage going on in the business because you're facing the sphere of change. There's an overinflation of pride when it comes to the business and everything you put into it. And know that anything ego attached that you have to your business is going to burn others. Okay. So if you want to bring yourself into a place of prosperity, it's important that you see the signs and the symbols. Now, I can tell you that your competitors have a huge advantage against you, okay, because they're already looking at the future. They're seeing the writing on the wall and they're making changes. They will win unless you make these big changes, okay? This is the card of defeat. This is ruthless and strategic dominance. We're headed into a global oligarchy, okay? I've actually, when I was in college, I was part of Facebook. I'm the same age as Mark Zuckerberg. And I actually talked to him on Facebook when I was in college. And one of my favorite quotes by him is, move fast and break things. Unless you're breaking stuff, you're not moving fast enough. And that's what the AI race is all about. That's what these guys are doing. And they're a little bit bullyish when it comes to how they're doing things because these guys are neurodivergent. They think very differently than the rest of us. They're very cutthroat in their tech oligarchy ambitions. They use logic and strategy to completely conquer an entire market, regardless of the human collateral. So it's important that you understand that that is the force that you're working against, and that unless you work with this, you will be left behind because that is the future. I highly recommend you look into the various systems that could keep your business on front and on top. But if you look at the old systems and refuse to realize that the entire world is changing underneath us and not adapt to the Richter scale, to the changes that are taking place, that you will be left behind. Okay? Whew. I hope that was helpful. I've got an Aquarium moon worked in tech. Okay? So I've got a little bit back there. All right. Miss Judith, and then we have Gigi. Please advise what you see from me for the rest of July and August regarding finances, job, and home. Okay, well, we're just going to get a overall because that's a lot, sweetie. Okay. Oh, can you get me some water with a little bit of the mango orange juice? Thank you, baby. Love you. Okay. So, July and August. Again, get a reading with me and I can look at all these things, but you asked for finances, which is 2nd and 8th house, also 11th and 5th. You asked for job, which is 10th house, and you asked for home, which is 4th. So I don't have your chart in front of me, but whatever comes in strongest, I'll see. I'll go to my karma cards first. What do you guys want to focus on? 11th house, finances. Finances and tribe. That's what they want you to focus on, okay? Now, the financial houses of the United States are about to get attacked in 2027 into 2028. It'll hit its peak after June 25th, 2027, when Jupiter removes its aspect from the 2nd and 8th houses of savings and inheritances. And then Ketu takes over, and that's going to bring a lot of issues in those areas. The banking systems, everything is going to be replaced. So it's important because if you look at the actual methodologies that Doge put in place as they disaggregated the system, a person doesn't become a 1.4 trillionaire overnight. Okay? It's because it took advantage of various systems that were put in their power. Oh, wow. Definitely the finances. Okay? That's what they want you to focus on. All right. The main thing that I got in and around you was 11th house. This is the house of, your tribe, but it's also, it's a Dana house. It represents wealth. Okay. Your resources. We are headed into another 2008. So it's really important that people really allocate their resources appropriately and see it from a perspective of change and integration, because when Rahu goes to Aquarius, which represents the natural 11th house, everything's going to get turned upside down and inside out. Okay? The reason I say that is your current vision when it comes to finances is Queen of Pentacles reversed. You have some assets, you have some resources, but there's a toxic material security in and around you. It's important that you really pay attention to what you're spending your money on. You know, I'm just going to give you what my best advice based on looking at the charts of countries around the world, the United States, etc. If you own a house, if you have any assets in the stock market, if you have any savings, if you have any family members that also have savings, it's really important that you allocate all of your resources, move to another country and put it into their banking system, because they're going to pay out more and cost you a lot less money. And they have an entire social integration in place that has not existed in the United States since the 80s. Okay. Jonathan got attacked by a pit bull a few months ago. We went to the emergency room. He has scars up and down his arm. It was a whole thing. I thought this was going to cost us thousands of dollars. It cost us $164, and that included all of the materials and the medications as well. Okay. I needed major surgery. A couple of I was talking about this last week. It required some stuff to happen. General anesthesia, the whole thing. I thought it was going to be thousands of dollars. The whole thing was under $400, and that's here in Mexico, again, in Mexico City, which is built like Manhattan. Other countries don't do this to their people, and they give out more interest. And when it comes to their banking systems, and they care about families, and there's like a moral compass in place that actually has not existed in the United States, at least since I was born. Rethink the way you think about your finances when it comes to where you're living and how you're being supported. Okay. Once you do that, my dear, I got a really good card for you. I got the 9 of Swords, but it came up reversed. I love it when it comes up reversed, because this is relief. This is things are not as bad as they appear, because you do have resources and allocations that you could put into place regarding home, regarding assets. Here's an example. Let's see if you're saying anything here. Tell me about if you're comfortable, you can tell me what's going on. I'm in Canada. Yeah, same thing. Canada's going to go through the same thing as the United States, my dear. Okay? Just letting you know. And you're welcome, Tim, dear. So, and Gigi, you're next, my love. So what this tells me is that things are not as bad as they appear. So here's an example, okay? Let's say magically and fortunately your house is worth $400,000, okay? And you got it paid off. You can take that money, put it into a high yield savings account, either in Thailand or Mexico or Brazil or anything like that. You could make 10% or more, between 10 and 20% on that. You'd be living between $40,000 and $80,000 a year in a place that costs a fourth or an eighth of what it costs to live in the United States. In a healthcare system which is privatized, and to the point where doctors come to your home and provide like premium medical services. Okay, that's the way the rest of the world lives. You don't realize that until you move out of the United States. I grew up in the military, and I've also lived all around the world as an adult. Other countries have it better. I hate to say it, it's just the truth. That's just my own lived experience, okay? The reason I'm telling you to really, really look at your options and look at what's available to you is I got the 2 of Wands, but it came up reversed. So your current plans are not working out. There's a fear of growth. There's indecision. There's a lot of anxiety and waiting of what's going to happen regarding your finances. You're making the wrong choices because there's a lack of focus in what is happening, okay? So don't allow this fear of the unknown to control you. It's better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. So don't shrink back from your greatness. Don't shrink back from this small little territory that you live in, and learn to expand yourself. Be a visionary. Plan. Look at the rest of the world and how they're doing it. Take your resources and allocate them in a way that will allow you to expand not only your spiritual, but your material success. And that will change your world. Okay, so that's the main thing. Plan big, go abroad, think big. Okay. All right, you can always go back and look at the reading. Okay, Judith, I hope that was helpful, my dear. It's going to happen in Canada too. It's the whole Western world's going to be affected. In all of North America, all of South America, parts of Africa, it's all getting affected because the European colonization, which is the Yama return, between 1520 and 1530 took place. And then all of those nations about 248 years later, because that's the Yama return, became nationalized and idealized. Like 1776 would be the one for the United States, and now we're at 2024 was the last one. So there's going to be a recolonization taking place, and it's important that you follow the trends and find out how to reallocate your resources in a way that supports yourself and your family. Because right now, the finances are not in alignment with what's best for you, your family, and going forward. You're always welcome to schedule a reading with me, and I can help you with that as well. Jonathan and I have also done a lot of research when it comes to international banking and resources, and we have contacts with financial advisors and things like that that can help you. Okay? All right. Gigi, good to see you. I want to know if Steve and I will be a couple in other lives. Oh, were you like past lives? Okay. Oh, speaking of my past life, he just got me my mango orange juice. Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness. Were you guys together in past lives? Well, here's the thing. I do past life readings and I do relationship readings, okay? What I do is, and the thing is, the software that I have and the stuff that I do, it's, how do I say this? I am certified to help with arranged marriages in India. Okay, so I can definitely do a full-on relationship chart for you both and determine the compatibility and past life connections and things like that. I look for conjunctions within a chart, especially when it comes to certain planets and things like that. Okay. Oh, you guys are definitely karmic. Let's see. I'm wondering, have you gone to France yet, Gigi? Okay, Judith says, I've been unemployed for over a year. I've lived on savings, retirement, and borrowed money for my last payment. I don't own my house. I'm a renter. My biggest fear is that I'll be evicted. Time to collaborate, my dear. Are you completely alone in the world? Or do you have other people and resources in and around you? Oh, wow. Gigi. Okay. It's karmic, but it's not good. You're here to like make amends with each other. Okay. There was a lot of drama in your past life together. Okay. You guys had a bit of a tower moment. I got Uranus. This is Indra. Okay. This is a big lightning moment that happened. It could have been when you were 21, 42, or 84. I'm guessing 21 and 42. But this is big stuff. Okay. Justice. There is a literal coming together of your souls to bring justice to a situation that was unfair in a past birth. Have strength as you go through this because it's some big stuff. There's a lot of emotional upheavals and things like that. There was some revenge that happened. It's important that you don't do it in this birth. What happened? If you guys really want to know what happened, the main thing, how do I say this? The main issue that you guys had, Gigi, was there was a major betrayal when it came to marriage and family. Okay, this is instability. There was a lack of belonging going on. I mean, I remember it was Joseph Stalin that said, "I can trust no one, not even myself." This is the shadow base. This is the shadow of a home base built on shifting sands. It's domestic tension. It's civil unrest. It's like a mafia family tearing itself from within. Okay, so the foundation was wrecked. And you're here to bring some stability to this tower moment that they're showing me. That caused a lot. I mean, so this should be celebration, marriage, foundations, good things, right? Like, a man who doesn't spend time with his family is not a real man. I think it was Don Vito Corleone. He was the guy in The Godfather who said, blood is thicker than money, and so that was not the case in some past life that you guys had together. So it's important that in this birth, you establish a secure, tight-knit relationship with each other built on community and a place where loyalty is celebrated, because in a past birth, there was an issue in this department, okay? Until you're able to do that, you were a little stuck, okay? There was a loss of control. There was a lot of scattered focus in and around this. There's a lot of people involved in this, okay? So it's important that you know that when all of these egos got out of control and there was like all of this directionless rushing, I mean, the crashing vehicle is not a great thing when it comes to family issues and a lack of foundation. So this tells me that it's important that in this birth that you allow the divine to guide the chariot, calm the restless mind, subdue any passion that you're feeling, and master these forces of desire that are still steered by your intellect, and then victory will be assured. So their intellects didn't align. There were some family issues. So they were actually showing me like a Romeo and Juliet situation. Like, it was just like, wow. People were not getting along. Like, this is like mafia level stuff. So you're being asked to make peace in this birth together so that justice can prevail and you can kind of close this chapter. I was not expecting that, you guys, but it was caused by a lightning moment. I mean, it was caused by a sudden event, kind of like Romeo and Juliet, that like created this cascade of injustice. You're being asked to step into strength. The foundation of the family was ruined. They couldn't move forward, and a lot of people sought revenge. And it was not great. And you two are here to kind of be bridge builders, whereas the rest of the family was kind of kept out of it because they were not mature enough to deal with the situation. That was a lot. Whoa. And they're showing me some of the stuff that was happening behind the scenes. I mean, it was a real lightning moment. So, okay, that was fun. And you say, wow, okay, I get it. And then Judith says, I'm alone, being broke as a senior citizen, apparently an embarrassment. Do you have a family? If you have a family, you have, like, Jonathan, do you have anything to say to Judith as a senior citizen yourself?
Things happen. They happen good, they happen bad, and if you've had nothing but good in your life, God bless you. But this is a rough world right now, and I would not be embarrassed because life has sort of overtaken you and given you some hard knocks. Mm-hmm. Try to find the lesson. That's the thing. You've already paid for it, right? So find the lesson and don't repeat it or change it so that it comes out in your favor the next time. That may sound a little glib, but I've had a lot of good and bad luck. I'm a cancer survivor. I should have died about 40 years ago.
Stage 4, yeah.
Yeah, I waited to go to the doctor until I was practically dead, because how could I be that sick as a yoga practitioner, So my arrogance almost killed me. and I paid a pretty hefty price to get back on my feet. But I did it. So, I don't want to say when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. I would just say maybe look where the lemons came from and try to make it work in your favor, because these things come to us for reasons. Good things come to us for a reason. Bad things come to us for a reason. Everything is a lesson. Again, sounds really glib, but I really had quite an education in this lifetime. I could tell you the span of my career, but you'd think I was lying, But yeah, don't ever be embarrassed by being yourself. If we could control our destiny, we'd probably all have done different things and made different colossal mistakes. You dealt with what came to you, and you're still here. So there's still time to do other things. Just get up and do them.
You got this. Okay. All right. Extra love to you. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, we thought that was helpful, everyone. We got through tonight. It's been almost 3 hours and I'm exhausted because Spirit was really coming through. I mean, we even had some celebrities come through and give us some advice. I love it when that happens. But I just want to send you, and then Venus says the best advice comes from experience. Tanvir says, all the best for you, sir. Much blessings to all. Thank you. And Gigi says, La Huese, okay, you were 40 years ago. He invited you to France and you had an ex-partner 40. Okay, wow. So it's been 40 years and you both had ex-partners that got in the way. Mm. That's very Romeo and Juliet. So you guys are here to clear the air. Okay, so much luck and love to you as you do that, because that's some big stuff. Okay, I just want to send you all tons of love. Know I'm going to be here next week, same time, and I look forward to this every single week, and I appreciate all of your time and your energy and sticking around. And know that Jonathan and I, we wake up every single morning and we do our mantras and our prayers for you before we go to bed. We do the same thing, and that you're all in our hearts every single day. So know that regardless of the things that you're going through, you're never alone. Divine is always with you and teaching you. And that if you ever need help, you're always welcome to email me and I'll include you in our prayer list. Okay. So again, I'm astrologicaltarot.com. My name is Michelle Marie. You're always welcome to schedule a reading with me. I get really deep, and I really look forward to connecting with you guys on a personal level as well. So totally appreciate your time and your energy tonight, and I will see you all next week. Om Shanti, Om Love, Om Peace. Sending
Sacred truth in space.